We got everyone. Welcome to my football weekend debate show stream. And yeah, I apologise again for being late. Obviously, something else came up. I'm also in trouble with my Wi-Fi again today, which ain't good. So I've got to get hold of the network again. It's pissing me off, really annoying me now. Anyway, thanks for coming and checking this out. If you have, obviously you're watching it on playback, wherever it's happening, wherever you're doing. And anyway, I've got a comment here. Hi, Helen. I know I've seen you before. No, I think it's Helen Ray Boulder. You've been on Warren's team talk and all that. I know you've been on his match day thing and all that in the live chat. On the live chat, yeah. Hi, I sub. Cheers. Thanks for that, Helen. Thanks for that. Another sub. Up to probably like 101 or 102, something like that now. So it's going really well. Yeah, another one from Helen as well. Enjoy your video. Yeah, cheers, I will. Thank you, Helen. That's really good. Thanks. Great to have another subscriber. You know, keep watching and checking out my content. That's great. Thank you. So obviously I'll move on now. I just done my cricket stream, and so that's another reason I'm a little bit late, because I had a little bit of a break as well from that. So not long ago finished. So everyone check that out. Mr. B's England, Mr. B chats England cricket. So check that one out. You know, I need more subs on that. I need more people checking all that out. So just go on here on Mr. B for Life 182 on Insta, and then you'll get to that on there anyway, the England cricket one I've done, the cricket show. So just go on there and you'll get to it, as well as this one, of course. So anyway, we'll move on. And of course, got the guest, another guest on. He's already been on my cricket show again, and usually he's always in here. The Luton Town fan, Stephen. I'll bring him on now. We up Stepsy again.
Yeah, be honest with you again.
Yeah, for the second time.
Yeah.
I've just done the cricket one, of course, and I thought that went okay. But
yeah, it went on.
Yeah, quite a bit to chat about on there, of course, with England as usual. But anyway, getting back to the football again, and obviously we go into our matches in a little while. Could be a couple of rants there. Both of us may be on a rant, especially me, that's for sure. But you know,
better than watch long
as well. You could be. What happened in yours? So anyway, but we're going to go on to obviously the actual debate thing first and talk about well, really, what I'm going to go on to the main subject I'll be talking about in this is obviously managers' ages. Should they retire at an earlier age rather than going on too long and having health issues like Roy Hodgson for a start? Because I'll put this up now and then we'll talk about it. Roy Hodgson, 76, collapsed in training, taken to hospital, has recovered. Should he now retire? Is management now a young person's game? After all, they don't actually run around for 90 minutes like players. What would you say to that, Stephen?
Well, from my point of view, we had Jones was in his 40s, and we got now we've got Roy Edwards, who's 40. So maybe it is a young person's game.
Yeah.
It depends really. If you're older, in your 50s, 60s, say, and your health is okay and you're fine, that I suppose you can go on. You got a bit of experience in the game, but there's a lot of young managers coming up and proving themselves. So maybe the tide is turning slightly.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to think of old managers like in the Championship and the Premiership, and I can't think of many off the top of my head. That's old.
Yeah. I mean, but some of these, you think they're just going on too long. I mean, would you say it is like a drug, like it is for footballers? They can't retire, and they just want to keep playing football, and they've got nothing else after they play football. A lot of these don't have any other sort of career, do they? They have no other sort of job once they leave football, do they?
They could. I mean, they could retire or go into punditry. They don't have as much pressure, then, do they? It could be a drug. Yeah, it could be like where they want to keep going on and on and on. Obviously, Bobby Robson done it. Then he went all the way through his career. But I feel for Roy, 76 is a time where you think my time is running down. I've only got so many years left. I want to enjoy it with my wife, my family, and just watch football on TV where there's no stress, no repercussions coming on him, no fans on your back. Maybe it is a young person's game now. I think when you've got all these up and coming young managers like us, the team down the road have got a 40-odd-year-old in charge, not doing too well like us. But it's hard to say really. But yeah, I think there's a lot more younger people coming into the game now.
Yeah,
there's not many at that 70 years old range at the moment. It didn't help that he had on Roy's case. It didn't help that he had all the fans on his back either. That didn't help. But
yeah, I just think the writing was on the wall there. If he, I think he's gone on too long. I mean, he was a great manager. Don't get me wrong. He's been in so many jobs. He made Switzerland for a while as well, the national team of Switzerland, and
England.
He's made so many other England, of course, as we know. And
West Brom.
Sorry, mate.
West Brom.
Yeah.
For a short stint.
Yeah. Yeah, he's had so many jobs, so many great, managerial roles, and yeah, I think maybe he's just gone on a bit too long. Maybe he feels he can do anything else after this. I don't know, but once you got to sort of retire at some stage, haven't you? You got to say enough's enough at some stage.
There's got to be a point in there.
But the thing is, right, they don't do physical stuff as much as like the footballers do. You can understand why a footballer would retire because they've been in the physical game for so long and running around and everything, And these managers aren't. Well, I know some are ex-players. I think Roy did play football. I think he had a little bit of a playing career. But there are some that obviously, played it for a long time. And a guy like Rob Edwards, of course, he was a footballer, wasn't he? So,
yeah.
I don't think Thomas Frank obviously wasn't, but he knows a lot about the game, but he wasn't a footballer. I mean, there's some
you think he knows something about the game?
Well, yeah, I don't know, maybe not at the moment. I don't know. But yeah, don't get me started at the moment on that. But anyway, so. That's bubbling up inside at the moment, Stephen. So I don't get it, just yet. But yeah, so I think some of these are just going on too long. You had the player managers, the likes of Frank Lampard, of course, is another one.
Rooney,
but he obviously he may retire earlier because he's not exactly done well, has he, as a manager? So.
Yeah, same as Wayne Rooney as well.
Rooney, yeah.
They've all been in charge.
And you think of so many Mark Hughes as another one.
Neville's done it as well.
Yeah.
I'm bored, but he's done it.
Yeah, you've had a few that have been successes. Hoddle, of course, Glenn Hoddle.
Yeah.
Bullet. But they've sort of got out of it more now, and they've known when to, get away from it, haven't they, and give it up. And Roy obviously hasn't. He feels he's still got a little bit more to offer, I guess. But at the end of the day, you've got to say enough is enough. But when you get old, at that sort of age, 76, it's how can people say, well, it's being ageist. Age is a number. It don't matter, what age you are. Should it matter, And we'll go on to obviously people like Neil Warnock in a little while because he's another one.
Get me started on him.
Yeah, but he obviously still carried on going. He's come out of retirement and carried on again in Scotland, But we'll go on to that in a little while. But yeah, so obviously, as I've just asked you there, do you think it is really now time to say, oh, it's a young manager's game?
Well, now he's collapsed and he's recovering in hospital and that. I think it's time for him to say, right, enough's enough. Maybe it's time. Maybe it's time I call it a day. Maybe it's time I spend my family and my friends and that and take a step back and enjoy the game by watching it instead of trying to be active in his heyday.
I mean, you can still.
Yes, Manny, you're right, mate.
Yeah, he's back in here again, Manny, isn't he? Yeah, be up, Manny. Hello again, boys. Yeah, we're back again. Back once again. Return of the man. Yeah, I love that song, Mark Morrison. Brilliant, man. Love that. He got into a lot of shit though as well, didn't he? He was in prison and everything, Mark Morrison. But I don't know if he's making some sort of a comeback. I don't know if you heard about that.
Oh, I don't listen to him. He had one song, that was it, wasn't it? So
yeah, but I love that song, and I actually bought his albums. The new album he brought out with Crazy and that one and all that one on there. Tripping on me. Well, you don't like that.
Let's not get you singing.
But yeah, anyway, let's move on with this and get away from that. It's not a singing competition, so I'll get away from that. It's not bloody.
X Factor won't be calling you anytime soon, will they?
X Factor, no, or bloody BGT or whatever, or whatever. But get back to this.
May's got a comment.
Roy's done the right thing. It's just sad that he couldn't stay for the whole season, but Palace need a new direction. Yeah,
I agree with that. I totally agree with that. I hope it's in the Championship and not in the Premiership.
Yeah, it could be
for obvious reasons. For obvious reasons.
He was at your game. Did you see that, Harry Styles?
Don't understand what he's doing there. Driving through Luton, he must have shit. Where have I come to? This is like a third world country. Yeah, but
he was sitting next to Mick Harford, wasn't he?
The legend, the god.
Yeah.
Because it said on BBC Sport, the website, it said, Harry has met God.
Yeah. And that, I had to laugh. He was giving him sweets and that. And I thought,
he took one, though. He took one in air. I was well impressed that Harry took a sweet in air. I was like, holy shit. You don't, but then again, you don't refuse. When Mick Harford offers you something, you don't refuse. He does the right thing. When Mick Harford offers you something, you don't refuse it. If Mick Harford offered me a tyre, but I didn't drive, I'd still take it because he offered me
it. But if there are any young kids watching this, do not accept sweets from old men in the street or anything, okay? Just strangers.
Mick Harford, you do?
I know, yeah, but I'm telling you, just saying, Yeah, I'm just making sure, man. I don't want any trouble, with this. So anyway, but yeah, so that he was there, and of course, David Pleat, of course. Yeah, curb crawler, David Pleat.
He was a big curb crawler. If you don't know what I'm talking about, we don't need to go into it, but
No. If you born through the 80s, live through the 80s and stuff, you'll know what we're talking about. But, yeah, I'm sure Manny will know. You'll know Manny, won't you? Yeah. Not even Mick Harford. I wouldn't even accept any from Bob Wilson unless I got to know him well.
Hold on a minute. Bob Wilson, Mick Harford, Mysteries. I'm taking them. Jeez.
Who's the original Safe Hands, Bob Wilson?
He was.
Well, you got to take sweets from him.
Arsenal keeper.
Yeah. The original Safe Hands, he was, wasn't he? Bob Wilson. But, anyway, let's get back to this subject. Anyway.
I think now he's collapsed and that. Going back to Roy, I think that it's time now to step back. Thanks for all you've done, Roy, and enjoy your family life.
I mean, because how did he actually collapse? Because I mean, was he actually running around?
Apparently, he was in training, and then all of a sudden,
what was the situation? Was he actually exerting energy or running or what? Or
it doesn't matter. I don't think the palace job is a stressful seat and a poison chalice at the moment. I think if I was in it, I'd collapse.
Yeah.
But saying that, the stress he was under with the fans on his back as well wouldn't have helped matters. So in a way, it's a blessing in disguise that he's collapsed. That he's okay. That's the main thing. He's okay.
Yeah,
he's recovering.
Yeah.
Maybe it took that to make him think, hold on a minute, you know what? I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done. I can't. That is a curtain call.
And of course, they've already appointed the new manager anyway, haven't they? Oliver Glasner.
Yeah.
I've never really heard of. Have you heard of him?
No. Can't say I have.
Is he he's manager of a German team, isn't it? Is it not Bayern? No, not. Is it Bayern?
Bayern. Bayern got Thomas Tuchel.
No, I mean not Bayern. I mean Bayer Leverkusen. I was thinking.
Bayer Leverkusen's got Marco Alonso.
Oh right, well it's not them either, is it? Trying to think where it said he was. I know it's a German team. Because I see it somewhere before, and but Eintracht Frankfurt. That's it.
Oh, Frankfurt.
Yeah. Again, I still don't know him.
Glassie was the England Frankfurt manager who won the European League, beating West Ham in the semis and Rangers in the final.
Oh, right. Yeah.
He also put, I think all the news and backing didn't help him, took their toll and suffered a breakdown of sorts. Never a fan of him, especially after he failed England stint, but he didn't deserve that. Fair enough.
Manny saying about him here.
Yeah.
Glasner was the Eintracht Frankfurt manager. He won Europa League.
I just said West Ham Rangers he beat in semi in the final. Yeah.
And he's saying, I think all the news and backbiting didn't help him. Took their toll and he suffered a breakdown of sorts. Never a fan of him, especially after his failed England stint. But he didn't deserve that. No,
I just read that, and I totally agree.
Yeah, well, Stepsy, I'm the host here, man. I've got to read these, not you, man. Come on.
Well, I'm just fucking helping you.
Give me a frigging chance, man. Big up Chris, by the way. He's off. Anyway, big up Chris. Speedy recovery to Roy, but should never be given the job start of the season. Right move from Roy and right move from Palace. He needs to retire. Yeah. Exactly, mate. Great to see your stream earlier, by the way. I watched your thing. Was it your preview or review about the Liverpool game? The preview, for Liverpool and Luton, wasn't it? So, cheers, man. I have subbed to you, by the way. So on this, I'll check that out, and I watched that earlier. Your one Liverpool Luton, that preview. and I'll yeah. So hold on a minute, people. I've just got to check something out. Yeah, I'll just check this out. Hold on a minute, guys. Won't be long. Yeah, big up again, guys. Sorry about that. I just had to check something. Yeah, big up, Chris. Cheers for that, mate. Didn't know. That's all right, man. I did leave a comment in there actually as well on your preview stream. So I don't know if you did see it or not. Yeah, it never says who subbed. That's right, mate. It doesn't. No, you never know who's actually subbed. But yeah, it was me. I've definitely subbed to your channel, mate. So I'll be checking that out a fair bit. You know, you got a lot of good content on there. I see coming up, a lot of watch-alongs and stuff. So and reviews, previews. So anyway, I've got another guest to bring on now. I don't know what's happened to Stephen, but anyway, I'll bring the other guest on. Bring him in. I've got Manny on here, Manny Fangadurai. I'll bring him in on now. We'll chat about this more. Be up, Manny. Are you my friend?
All good. Thank you. And like I said, I'm sorry I couldn't join your cricket stream earlier because I told you I was going to be at the gym. Right. But, you know, I was able to join the chat. And as it turns out, I probably don't need to watch it again on playback because, you know, whatever you were talking about, I mean, I might have missed the angriest part of your rant, but I'm here just in time for another rant of yours, I suppose.
Yeah, I probably didn't go off on one as much in that one. It was more, I think Stephen did, but well, he's gone off now on this one. That's something I said about. I think he was taking over a bit, and I thought, come on, mate, I'm the host here, you know. And I thought, you know,
absolutely. I mean, but anyway, let's not talk too much about that. But you know, obviously, there's a question you've asked here: is management now a young person's game? They don't actually run around for 90 minutes like the players. You know, in theory, I always say that if you are good enough, you are young enough, and that applies to players and managers alike. Yeah. And I suppose it probably wouldn't be a bad idea, in my opinion, if once managers reach a certain age, say 60 or 70, they are given a lot of these physical tests to see if they can handle the added pressure of being able to manage, because there's a physical aspect to management. Obviously, Mikel Arteta and Jurgen Klopp can testify to that, running around celebrating and making, you know, idiots of themselves sometimes, certainly in Arteta's case, because, I mean, at least Klopp's won the lot. What has Arteta won? And
Arsenal
Arsenal fans,
hammy, didn't he? He pulled a hammy. Did you say? Oh, it's a laugh when he done that. You know, when he was running along the touchline and he done his hamstring or whatever, he was clutching his back of his leg.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's the thing. That's one of the reasons why, mate, when it comes to exercise, I despise running with a passion because, my knees really can't take it. I enjoy, cycling a great deal because obviously they move in a certain motion. And as long as you set everything right, you can do that. And I do remember suffering from some pretty severe patella tendon-related pain, which meant that I couldn't go to the gym for some time. So obviously, what I'm saying is there are limits as to how much you can possibly do, but as long as you work well within your limits, there's no reason why you cannot do very much. And there's a huge trend, of course, about older people taking up powerlifting. But when you get to a certain age, obviously, you've got the emotional pressures of having to deal with everything. You've also got to make sure that even physically, at least, you don't need to participate in the training sessions as such. Glenn Hoddle was always an unpopular manager, rather, for his tendency to take part in the training sessions. And Stan Collymore went on record as saying Hoddle wanted to try to prove to the people that he could still play. And there is still an element of bitterness in him at how his international career was ended a little bit early, and he was replaced by a certain Paul Gascoigne. And yes, we all know the connection between the two 10 years down the line. But, he still went on to play. He was player manager at Chelsea for a period in the 90s. And during every training session, he wanted to prove that he still had the technical skills in his youth. You don't need to do any of that, but there is a physical and mental aspect to it. And if, as a manager, if you are able to pass those, psychological and physical tests, and there's no reason why you shouldn't do it. But obviously, with Roy, there also comes a time when, after 48 years of doing the same thing again and again, Miss Molina, lovely to see you as always. And I hope you're doing all right. I hope your health is okay, and hope everything's fine. Hope everything's good in your neighbourhood.
Yeah, I was watching watch-along the other day against the Burnley and Arsenal, of course. I was watching that one, so that was quite good, She's got good watch-along. It was with Moss, I think. Moss?
Yep, I know. Chris Mossing.
Guy.
Yep, no, he's actually Canadian. He's from the Saskatchewan.
Canadian, sorry. Apologies.
He's from Saskatchewan in central West Canada, and she's living in Ontario, in Toronto. So
apologies, because I know Canadians don't like being called Americans, and I'm sorry about that if I offended anyone.
Technically though, they are North Americans. So all good where I am. And so
we're fine,
without so if managers are able to pass those physical tests, and yes, they should. But with Roy, it's been nearly a half century of the stuff. And it just goes to show that no matter how much you claim to enjoy the job a great deal, there's always going to be a time when people are going to ask you, why don't you retire, as opposed to why are you retiring? And if you are still able to do a really, really good job, then that's fine. But obviously, we saw the banners at the stadium. We saw the fans expressing discontent with the way things were being done. And, it just effectively means that, it comes to a certain point where, you just can't take it anymore, and it will take its toll on even the best. And you take a look at the way Ancelotti is able to continue doing the job. I mean, that bloke was a star player for AC Milan and also the Italy national team. He also went on to achieve great managerial success. And if we take a look at his age, I'm sure he must be in his 60s or something like that. Yeah, he's 64. He's 64. And
64.
So he's obviously continuing to manage at the highest level. He's still very much in demand at Real Madrid. They should look set to win La Liga this season because Girona are starting to fall a little bit. But even with him, there is going to come a time when, he will be sort of politely pushed on his way, because I don't believe there's ever been a situation where many of the top clubs have had very, very old people managing them. And there have been some exceptions there have been a lot of people who have continued to manage at the top level into their 70s, but and have had long careers. But as you get older, you tend to work with some of the smaller clubs. I think there is something poetic in a way about Roy ending things at Crystal Palace. I believe they're his boyhood club, but he has to really take a long, hard look at himself and say, you know what? After all of this, is it worth it? And credit to the bloke. After that failed stint with England, where I was very critical of him, as were a lot of other England fans, he was still willing to come back into management and make himself available. In contrast with Mr. Allardyce, who had one game with England after, I believe, Roy was sacked, and then didn't. We haven't heard from him since. You know, Allardyce is another person who could also continue, but with some managers, I suppose you have to say it's getting to a point where maybe some managers feel as though it just isn't worth continuing to, continuing to go through with it anymore. So I wouldn't necessarily want to try to put an age limit on this, but I would definitely say that if you get to a certain age, just as certain players will be offered only 1-year extensions every year, depending on their fitness, their ability to contribute, it's high time that we consider a situation where managers also only get subject to mere 1-year extensions every single season, and they have to keep proving themselves whether they are psychologically and physically, up to the job or willing to continue to take the brickbats every single day. You get to a certain age. I mean, he's only slightly younger than my dad, and for him to be taken ill like this, I mean, I just think the poor bloke suffered a breakdown, really.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, they don't do all the training the players do. So you kind of think, well, what has it got anything to do with that? But is it actually? I think it is to do with the pressure of the job, maybe. Really, that's what I reckon. I mean, he's had a lot of pressure on him now, and obviously saying, "Oh, look, get out of the club. We don't want you here." All that sort of thing. And I thought, that's disrespectful. You think, what he's done for the club. He took them over and got them back into, safety and all that. That he was, they were in a bad position when he took over. And he got them into safety and everything. And he steered it. They was on a good winning run for quite a while, weren't they? So, I know they're struggling now. But you forget what he done for them. It's like the same with Moyes for West Ham. The West Ham fans are forgetting what he's done for them. Now they want him out. He won them that European conference and all that. He's got them that trophy, and he's got them in the top 10 for the last couple of seasons. Been in the top 10, and now they suddenly want him out. I think it's so wrong, Manny. Us fans are so fickle, aren't we? At times. So, and to put the pressure on him, he's 76, he don't need it. So,
I agree. And especially given his age and how long he's been in the game, I mean, he's literally an elder statesman of the game. You can't just, you can't just, speak of him that disrespectfully. But, that's just the way fans are sometimes. And Moyes is in a difficult situation because obviously you realize that I think, Chris, maybe you can you might know this better than I do. I think Warnock might have had a spell as Crystal Palace manager. I might confirm it later, but if you can confirm that, I'd appreciate that, mate. And Moyes is in a difficult situation because obviously West Ham have had a tradition of wanting to play really, really attacking football, and Moyes is a lot more pragmatic. But that has brought them some success. I guess, maybe with the fans, many of them obviously remember the glory days of the 60s. Of course, prior to England winning the World Cup, it was Hurst, Moore, and Peters, that holy trinity, who were also really, star turns for West Ham. And they also helped them win another piece of European silverware. That was the European Cup Winners' Cup, where they defeated 1860 Munich in the final. And I believe it was Ron Greenwood, the future England manager, who was managing West Ham at the time. He said, you guys are academy players. You've got a tradition to uphold. I want you to win it in style. And they did that. And in some cases, maybe these fans deserve to be criticised for thinking that they're better than they actually are. But, West Ham do have a history of playing good football. And I think I can't blame necessarily the West Ham fans for wanting to go back to that, because when pragmatic football leads to, a lot of poor results, like the 6-0 shellacking that we gave them, obviously, they're still... I don't know if they got PTSD from that and whether it affected them when they played Nottingham Forest at the City Ground, because Forest have been dire this season, and I would have expected West Ham to win that game. And for them to not even score a goal, I mean, I think they're still... maybe Moyes is starting to feel the pressure. Maybe the players also are starting to crack a little bit. I still think that maybe Paqueta's absence has really affected them in a way people wouldn't expect, because... and now obviously you're talking about Warnock and how he can't do things forever. But it's fine to say that fans are fickle, but you take a look at Arsenal, for instance. Arsene Wenger was with us for 20-odd years. In 20 of those 22 seasons, we always qualified for the Champions League. But, in the last two, every single season, we'd always try to... compete for the league, but in some seasons, but fall short. Other seasons, we just wouldn't be in the picture for winning the league, but we'd be satisfied with winning. I'm just confirmed that Warnock hasn't managed Crystal. Actually, he has managed Crystal Palace from 2007 to 2010. So obviously, there is a connection there, and
it says he's managed Palace, yeah.
Yep. So, so obviously fans will want to try and break away from the never-ending cycle and want to try to have better. And especially when so many promises are being made and not being, kept. And you see the team continuing to stagnate and obviously losing a lot of form, and with the threat of relegation looming large. Personally, I don't think Palace will get relegated, because the teams, two of the four teams in a relegation battle are doing even worse than they are. I believe Sheffield United and Burnley are doomed. Luton, despite their loss to Manchester United, still have a fighting chance of staying up. And it will be interesting to see how Everton do against Crystal Palace tonight. I don't know if Glasner will be in the technical area when they travel all the way to Goodison. I think it will be the interim. I will... what's the crack? What's the bleeding story? Boy.
What's the bleeding story? I went there, buddy.
And how are you doing? And all that rubbish. But so like I say, I don't know if Glasner is going to be in the technical area, but it will be interesting to see how Everton do. But Palace should have enough about them to avoid relegation. If they lose to Everton, then maybe you could sound the alarm bells and say that Glasner's arrival cannot come soon enough. But I really don't see Crystal Palace getting relegated. I think they will end up surviving by the skin of their teeth, but finish low in the table. And obviously a change cannot come soon enough for them. But, obviously when it comes to people like Hodgson and Warnock, who are into their 70s, as I've said, they can't go on forever. And there will be a point when the likes of Ancelotti and even Mourinho and others will also end up feeling the pinch and saying, you know what? To heck with this, I can't hack it anymore. And let's also take a look at Senor Benitez, see how old this fella is, 63. And he's struggling right now with Celta Vigo in La Liga. You wonder whether he'll hang up his boots after... I mean, he did well at Newcastle United, but flopped at Real Madrid. Dalian Professional was so-so. Everton was forgettable. So I think once certain managers, if they're not lucky enough like Ancelotti to be able to manage at a big club and still earn the respect of the players and the board, and they have to keep managing at bigger clubs, smaller clubs rather, I think they're under some pressure to prove themselves. And if things start to go pear-shaped, then maybe the time will come. But I would say that testing these managers again, making sure that they are capable of handling it, will be very, very important. And if they aren't capable, if they don't have good medical records, then, I think we're going to have to say we can't do that to you. Because this isn't about denying people the right to work and the right to do whatever they love. It's about making sure that they are more than capable in many ways of being able to handle that pressure. I mean, in Rocky Balboa, the board made the decision to not initially offer Balboa the chance to fight for one more time, a license to fight, because they said despite passing the physical tests, they believed in their heart, without any proof, that he wasn't capable enough. But then he delivered that speech saying, "It's my right to listen to my heart and do what I love doing. It's not your right to tell me, to say no to me, because I've earned my right to be where I want to be and do what I have to do. But I also know that the older I get, the more things I have to leave behind. That's life. And as the likes of Warnock and Hodgson, etc., get older, they're going to have to leave this behind."
Yeah, I love them films and Rocky films, though. Brilliant, they are. But yeah, we're not obviously talking about them. We're talking about all this. But yeah. Do you think it's a drug as well, Manny? Is it like for footballers that they can't retire really? They want to keep going, and there's nothing else for them once they leave football. Because a lot of them, you see them, struggling, don't they, when they finish football? There's nothing else they can do. Some of them. So you think, well, it's been most of their life, hasn't it, playing football? And then suddenly you got to retire. So
sorry, keep going, mate. No, please keep going. I'm sorry for interrupting you.
No, it's fine. I think they say, it doesn't really last. It goes pretty quick. Your footballing career. So it's gone before you know it, and you kind of think, well, you got all the time in the world, and you haven't really. And some of these don't really sort of think about what they're going to do after they play football, because then they suddenly get to know what our lives are like. The normal lives of going to work and all that. Doing an actual proper job. Not just kicking or heading the ball or whatever around. So, they suddenly know what life's like. But
yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, go on, mate. Yeah, go on. No,
go
on.
No, please. Okay, well, I think when it comes to, being in this sort of a sporting environment, Steve, people are obviously, when you're still doing it and you're at the best of your ability and you're doing well, you're enjoying it. But obviously, as you get older, your physical ability will start to diminish a bit, and you more than make up for that by training a little smarter and trying to make the most of the limited ability you have, even as a manager as well. As you get older, you will be judged on the results, and obviously Ancelotti's still being able to produce some good results, so they want him to stay. Of course, there will come a time when people, you have to wonder, will they still need you? Will they still want you when you're 64? As the Beatles famously sang.
Oh, Beatles song, yeah.
Yeah, and of course, obviously Real Madrid still need and want Ancelotti, but he's pretty much a rare exception to the general rule. And so, and that's the problem. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a drug per se, but obviously when you grow up in that environment, especially if you've been playing since your teens, and that's pretty much all you have to wonder, well, what's going to happen when you're not being able to do it anymore? Thankfully, of course, we're in a day and age where once you retire as a sports star, especially if you've been fortunate or blessed enough to have a legendary career, stint in the television studio awaits you. And obviously, one would think that for the likes of Warnock and Hodgson, if the day comes when they cannot manage anymore, they can just waltz right into a TV studio and feel more than welcome and have their opinions, being listened to. I'd sooner listen to Roy Hodgson than Roy Keane, let me tell you that, because that bloke, quite simply, he was a fine player in his day, but I just think, he's become a little bit bitter in many ways, and you can tell, you can sense that bitterness when he talks about a lot of issues in football today. But maybe for some other players who've played for as long as they have and who may not be in the public eye, they may not necessarily get the opportunity to have a career in punditry because they haven't really been in the public eye that often. And so it's now become more important in many ways to ensure that some footballers can develop some useful skills. Back in the day, mind you, football was a little bit more amateurish, and even rugby union. Yeah. Several players back in the early 90s had jobs outside playing rugby. I mean, if memory serves me right, Jason Leonard, our World Cup winning at that time world record prop, was a humble carpenter. And would only play for England and Harlequins as a hobby. And then, of course, in the mid-90s, it became a lot more professional. If memory serves me right, I believe Martin Bayfield, that huge and towering lock, was pretty much a police officer during his time. Also played for the British Lions, like Leonard. And yep, he was actually with the Metropolitan Police and transferred to Bedfordshire Police. 6'10", and sadly wasn't part of the World Cup squad in 1991, where he reached the final, but won a Grand Slam in '92 and got picked for the '93 tour to New Zealand. And he also played until '96 for England, earning 34 caps, but also had a career as a police officer at the time. And of course, he just missed out on the sport becoming a little bit more professional. Even someone like Neil Webb, who played for England and was a part of our World Cup squad in 1990, but didn't play until the third place playoff, and also was one of the culprits of our exit from Euro 1992. He ended up finding work as a postman. So that sort of pretty much highlights the importance of being able to learn a trade after, at least after you retire, or at least while you are able to do so, while you have the time, and then at least ensure that you have a chance of being able to earn a living once you hang up your boots. Now, of course, these days, once you have had a good playing career, you make a living as you can join the coaching staff of a team, or you could be a scout, or you can stay involved in the game. You could be an after-dinner speaker or what have you. Yeah. But it is now going to be important. And obviously, if you train at the at your club's academy, they offer scholastic classes for some of their students, so they at least know the basics in the 3 R's: reading, writing, and arithmetic, as it were. And it is always important to try to give yourself a basic education, at least something up to the equivalent of your O levels or even A levels, and then maybe afterwards, you have a chance of going back to school, and then maybe earning a degree at a community college or a technical college and doing something else. So so. Just taking a look at Neil Warnock, I want to make sure I have his health issues down pat, because thank God for Wikipedia. I don't remember him having any kind of health issues as such, and maybe some people who followed his career more closely will know of his health issues. I don't really know.
I didn't even realise he was a footballer. I didn't know he was actually a player as well, Warnock.
Oh, yeah, he's one of those old school players, obviously, who had a decent-ish career in the lower leagues. Obviously played for Chesterfield, where my sister was born, and for the likes of Rotherham, Hartlepool, Scunthorpe. And by the way, a little piece of trivia for you, Mr. B. Speaking of Scunthorpe, name 3 England captains who played for Scunthorpe United. Take your time with this, and you can tell me the answer later on.
Okay, it will take me a while, Manny, I think, but I might be able to come up with it. I don't know. 3 England captains, did you say?
Yeah, 3 England captains.
Scunthorpe. Played for Scunthorpe United?
Yeah, but listen, you can take your time with that, and you can give me the answer later on, and I'll tell you if you're right. But we've got to move on.
Anyway, I'll try not to cheat and look on Google or anything. I'll try and come up with them.
So we're going to see how well he does for Aberdeen this season, obviously, because the SPL season will get over this summer. And if he does do well with Aberdeen, then maybe he can have a 1-year extension. I certainly don't believe the club would be that, half-baked enough to offer him a multi-year deal, even if Aberdeen do really well. Let's face it, they're not going to compete for the title. That's going to be Rangers and Celtics to, fight over the 2 Glasgow clubs at it again. But we'll see how well he does. And if he is able to do well, then maybe he can stay on. If he is sensible enough, I think he will realize that it is time to, hang up his tracksuit.
Yeah. You know these Scunthorpe ones you're on about. Are they actually from that area, or were they actually born in a different region? Or?
Yeah. They played for the club, but I will give you a hint. I said 3 England captains, but not all 3 of them played the same sport.
Oh, right. Ian Botham. No, he played for Scunthorpe. You know that, Ian Botham.
Yep, that's one of them. Right now, you can guess the other 2.
Oh, right, I was right with that. Oh.
Yep.
I thought you was about for the football team. You're about he's captain for England cricket, wasn't he? So.
Yeah, he was an England cricket captain, of course, before Mike Brearley.
Oh God, who'd be the rest of them then? Well, I've actually
just the other 2.
Played football and cricket.
No. These 2 are pure footballers, and these 2 went on to become. These 2 obviously went on to become legends at another club, but the same club.
Oh, good. Well, I've got one anyway at the moment, so I'll try and think of the others. But yeah. So, do you think he should actually carry on then, Manny Neil Warnock, or do you think he should go back to retirement? Or
like I said, mate, if he does well with Aberdeen this season and the club decide they want to offer him a 1-year deal to continue, then by all means. But if it isn't really working out, if the club aren't able to challenge for a European place and really end up succeeding at the expense of Hearts or another team, then maybe it would be better if he were to just call it a day. But at the end of the day, as you know, it's a results business, and results will dictate whether managers stay and go. Performances will dictate whether players have a future at the club. So I think if the club and the manager can come to a mutual decision, whatever's best for all parties concerned, then that's the way it'll be. Simple as that.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just thinking, would it be to do for health reasons, or do you think he's just not good enough as a manager anymore? Or, I mean, he obviously thinks he's got a lot more to give because he's come back out of retirement and feels he's got more to do. And he's obviously okay. Scotland is not a great league, is it? Let's be honest. It's a farmers' league in a way. And it's, I know you've got Celtic and Rangers, but they're the big 2. Isn't there? There's no other really great teams there in Scotland. And, maybe he feels, well, it's an easier league for him and he ain't got to, worry so much. Like, say, if he's in the English Premiership, you always feel, you could get relegation or anything like that. Whereas in Scotland, he's probably got more of a chance of doing something, So, with the teams he's been with, like the likes of Huddersfield and that, I mean, he saved them, didn't he? He kept them up.
Yeah.
But, and the others, obviously, the other teams he's been with, I think Plymouth was one of them, wasn't it, as well? So, I think they might have struggled a bit. So, I think he did keep them up as well. But, I think Aberdeen, I don't know exactly where they are in the Scottish League and also in the Scottish Premiership, aren't they, Aberdeen?
Yep.
But,
yeah.
I don't exactly know where they are at the moment, but I think he's got it slightly easier over there. And
I can tell you. I can tell you right now, Steve, that they are 3rd in the league at present. So they are in with they are in with a very, very good chance of qualifying for Europe.
I thought they could win it. Surely they can't. They can't overtake Celtic or anything.
No. I'm sorry. Last season they finished 3rd. Last season they finished 3rd.
Yeah.
This season, I can tell you right now that they are currently in 8th, and so the top 4 teams. Yeah, so Rangers, as it stands, could qualify for the league stage of the Champions League. Celtic get to qualify for the 3rd qualifying round if they finish 2nd. Hearts are currently in contention for the Europa League 2nd qualifying round. And Kilmarnock, who are currently 4th, are in contention for the 2nd qualifying round of the Europa League. In fact, where are my manners? Do please excuse me.
A bit Rich, yeah. Manny in chat, yeah.
Rich, good to see you, mate. I was actually on a stream with him about a week or so ago, Really good to chat with him. And so this is where Aberdeen are. They are 8th in the Premiership right now with 27 points, 10 points off of Kilmarnock. So there'll be some extra games to play, but he obviously has to try to get Aberdeen to a higher position because obviously 8th, they're in the bottom half, you see. And so I don't see them being in any real threat of being relegated or even, making the Premiership playoff final between them and another team from the Scottish Championship. But obviously the bosses will want him to try to take them a little bit higher, get them at least into that 4th position to try and get them into the Conference League qualifying round if they can. And if he can do that, then I think he will be able to stay for another season. Otherwise, it might be time for the club and him to maybe part ways. And obviously, Rich disagrees, saying maybe should stay retired. Warnock has been everywhere, he says. But
yeah. But I mean, he's was he with Leeds as well when he's Leeds manager? Is it Leeds?
I believe, if memory serves me right, he was. So he's managed two Yorkshire clubs.
Yeah, and was it? Yep. Did it been Sheffield United as well? Was it Sheffield United?
Yeah. I've got his entire managerial career for you. So
all right. Well, I did have it up here anyway. I'll just see if I can bring that back anyway.
This is why you got Wikipedia and the share screen option, mate. And
can you read the text?
Can you read the text?
Exactly, bro. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's got. I could go on there. He's got. Here we go to Wikipedia. Plymouth, Huddersfield, Sheffield United, QPR, Leeds. I was right. Yeah, with all them. Rotherham, Cardiff, Middlesbrough. He certainly had a few clubs, didn't he? So he's had more clubs than Tiger Woods, isn't he? Let's be honest. So anyway, but
I love that. I love that. I love that. And of course, for Huddersfield, for Crystal Palace, and for QPR, he's managed them twice now. I mean, QPR was more of a caretaker thing, but obviously, he was well regarded enough by those clubs to have for them to have him back. But so he's had a long stint. And as I said, results and performances will dictate whether he stays another year at Aberdeen or the bosses decide to say, you know what, it's been wonderful, but it's time for you to leave. Because as I said, once players get to a certain age, they only get offered 1-year rolling contracts. So for managers, when they get to a certain age, it really should be no different.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, because it's like with footballers, they come to a peak of their actual playing career that they know that they can't give any more. They've reached their peak and that's it. And they feel they've got all they got to give. It should be the same with managers, surely. Maybe they know when it's time to go. It's like obviously he thinks he's got time to go. He can carry on a while longer. And I think I read somewhere where they reckon he might never retire. But I thought he already did retire. He'd come out of it again, retirement. So actually he has retired.
Yeah, if memory serves me right, Steve, the Huddersfield stint was his coming out of retirement because obviously he and Ronnie Jepson had a big history with the club, and things weren't working under that other bloke, Fotheringham. I want to say big up, of course, to Ryan Mather and Huddersfield Town Fan TV because obviously he wasn't in favour of Fotheringham staying after the Fotheringham promised a great deal, but simply didn't deliver. Yeah. Warnock was absolutely magnificent. And when it came to Darren, basically it was a case of less being more, if you know what I mean. And fortunately, after a certain while, Darren became no more at the club. So obviously Warnock is still regarded very highly by Huddersfield fans. And I'm really glad that he was able to have that fairy tale ending to that season for them because they were in dire straits at the time, and that really should count as one of his finest hours in football, keeping Huddersfield Town up. And if he had retired after that, then that would have been perfect. But I think the club wanted him to continue until they found a new manager, and I think that's stupid. You can't ask a guy of his experience and stature to be a stopgap until you get someone new. That is really disrespectful. I'm sorry to say that.
Yeah, I mean, this was another guy that obviously managed to an older age, 71. Bobby Robson, Sir Bobby, the late great Sir Bobby Robson, went on. He was 71 when he managed Newcastle. Yeah. R.I.P. Bob. Yeah. Rest in peace, mate. Great man and a great manager. So, he done really well. I think he was obviously really successful with England, of course, Took them a long way. Of course, we all know semi-finals and all that, quarter-finals, semi-finals, 86 and 90, of course. And then he was really successful in club management, Ipswich and all that, as well as Newcastle.
Yep.
So he managed some good teams, and I suppose really he's more known for Newcastle, really. But because of course I think was he the first one to bring Shearer in and all that as a player? Was he the first manager to get Alan Shearer? Newcastle.
I'm going to check on that right now because obviously, Shearer is of course a Geordie at heart, but obviously had success at other clubs, most notably Blackburn, where he won the Premiership. Yeah. And I was watching a program on the telly where he and Tim Sherwood were reliving the 95 season, that final where, under the leadership of former Liverpool legend / manager / player Kenny Dalglish, they went to Anfield, lost 2-1, but still won the league. And so he managed Newcastle from 1999 onwards. And I want to find out when Alan Shearer joined the club, because I don't know if Bobby Robson would have had much of a say in getting Shearer to come to Newcastle. Yeah, so Shearer joined Newcastle in 96.
Keegan.
Yes, that's right.
Keegan manager. Yeah.
Yeah, that of course was during the mid-90s when that was of course after the it was managed by Keegan, obviously, and this was I think sometime during the time when that Newcastle team were challenging for the league title, and on both occasions finished runners-up to Manchester United. And that team was really good then, obviously, the likes of, Les Ferdinand, Peter Beardsley coming back, and several others. And there was, of course, a good ex-Liverpool core in that team that time. But then Shearer came back to his hometown club and spent time there. So, obviously, when Robson came to United, Shearer was very much a part of the picture. But he and Robson actually did have a very fine relationship, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah. Because they're saying here, obviously, he had cancer and that when he was at Newcastle. Well, he obviously had an earlier diagnosis of it in 92. He was actually diagnosed with cancer. And he went there. Do you think if he just sort of settled down and had proper treatment, he would have lived a bit longer rather than carrying on being a manager? Do you think he might have had a chance of having a longer life? Manny,
with cancer, Steve, it's always a case of if ifs and buts were sweets and nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas. And yes, in fact, he passed away in 2009. And by then he had actually left Newcastle United in 2004 after being sacked by Freddie Shepherd.
Oh, that's right.
So there was a bit of a gap in between his sacking by Newcastle and his sad demise. So with cancer, you just can't tell. All you can do is do the needful, get diagnosed quickly. If you're diagnosed quickly enough and you undergo the treatment quickly enough, and it's hopefully not a very aggressive form of cancer, then you've got a really good chance of beating it. But with lung cancer, it's one of those really big cancers that you just never know how quickly it's going to spread, but you do know that it will be quickly. And
well, he
it's
had
really
bowel
sad.
cancer apparently in '92, and then he had a malignant melanoma in 1995, well as a tumour in his right lung and a brain tumour, both in 2006. They defeated all of that, apparently. Defeated all of it.
Actually, he wasn't able to defeat the lung cancer, and obviously, all of that sort of took its toll on him. And you're right. Here's the it's mentioned over here. I think you're on Wikipedia too. So you got the bowel cancer,
that's right,
the tumor in his right lung. Yeah, terrific. And it was his fifth diagnosis in 2007, consisting of cancerous nodules in both lungs.
That's
was
right,
diagnosed as terminal. And with chemotherapy, it was being controlled. And obviously, he was, devoting the rest of his life to trying to fight the disease. And, there was when you're at that age and you're diagnosed, you don't really have that much long. And it was in 2007 that he was diagnosed. He left in 2004, and obviously he didn't have too many years. He didn't have any offers of management, so he never returned. So to answer that question, it's really hard. It's really, really, really hard to say. And he obviously felt as though he was doing a good job at the time, and still really working brilliantly with Newcastle. Obviously, after a poor start to that season, he was sacked on the 30th of August, and then I don't quite remember who replaced him after that. I can always find out, but we have to assume that he was being treated very well, and with cancer, all you can do is just do the needful and do what you have to do. I mean, take a look at David Brooks, for instance, the Welsh international player who's still on the books at Bournemouth. Yeah. He also had a pretty serious form of cancer, but he, beat it and he's back playing. He's been in remission.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
You can just never tell with cancer, really. And cancer is something really, absolutely, it's a horrible disease which has taken too many wonderful people too soon. And when people get it, the sad part is you don't really want to give them the impression that you're walking on eggshells, but you also want them to know that you love them and you're thinking of them. And fortunately, in my family, I haven't had too many people haven't had anyone suffering from cancer, but it has affected one or two, friends of mine, and it's just horrible. It really is. And if I just think that with Robson, I think he was responsible enough to have continued to take the treatment and do as well as he did. And of course, on those occasions when he was diagnosed with cancer and still working, he beat them all. So I really don't think that his early retirement would have made too much of a difference. But again, by the time he was diagnosed for the fifth and final time, which proved to be the last time, he was, he had already retired from management. So I really don't think it would have made much of a difference, to be honest with you. I hope that answers your question. I'm sorry for rambling on too much.
Oh, it's fine, mate. No, it's fine. Yeah, I appreciate it. It's good. Yeah, you sort of have answered it a fair bit. So, and obviously I did see he could have been a part-time caretaker again of England. I think it was in 99 or 2000 when Keegan resigned. They said he tried to get him as part-time caretaker manager of England again, but it was actually refused. I think it says here somewhere. He said he could have been in late 2000, following the resignation of ex-Magpies boss Kevin Keegan as England manager. The FA asked Newcastle club chairman Freddie Shepherd to permit Robson to take over in a part-time caretaker capacity, but the actual request was refused.
Interesting, really. I just don't know if he felt that it was the right time or the circumstances to do that. Maybe in some ways, because let's bear in mind when he managed England before Italia '90, the team flopped in Euro '88, and there were several people who were calling for his resignation, despite the fact that England had, one of the best squads in that tournament and were made favourites to win the title. But look, let's also not forget that England were luckless enough to be in the same group as Holland and the USSR, who both made the final of that tournament. And of course, Jackie Charlton's Republic of Ireland team. That, of course, was the tournament where Jackie's army and the legend really, really began in a way. So maybe he didn't feel as though it was worth going back there, and he wanted his last England memory to be a glorious failure in Italia '90, and he had just joined Newcastle, and he wanted to make sure his attentions were given to them. And of course, we also have to mention another cancer victim, Sven-Göran Eriksson, who did in fact succeed Kevin Keegan. His cancer has also been declared terminal, and we wish him.
I see that. Yeah.
We wish him, of course, a really good a final few.
Yeah, he's going to manage the Liverpool. Is it Liverpool Legends or something? And,
yes.
Their game.
Yes, and that is
charity.
Yes, I mean
charity thing in it or something. Legends game or something.
Yes, and I think maybe
that's a great touch. I think that's a great touch from Liverpool to do that for him.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, and that little thing over there you've mentioned. I think you've got Wikipedia on your side, so that's good. I mean, it means that now you're better prepared for these streams. I love it.
Well, true, yeah. Yeah. I never used to do all this when I first started doing my channel, but I've sort of got into it now and got used to it, with StreamYard. So
now you know, mate. Now you know. Now you know. It will help you. So so obviously, Sven-Göran Eriksson is he was a good manager who just couldn't quite take us further. But when you consider the disasters that were Fabio Capello and Roy Hodgson, of course, about whom we were talking earlier, I think people might look at Eriksson's time with England with more rose-tinted glasses, I would say. I mean, he had Jimmy Savile's haircut and got himself a pretty nice girlfriend too. Let's not forget. But he just had a bit. True. He was a bit too fond of the ladies, though. Too fond for everyone's liking. But he was a good manager, and I wish him a really peaceful final few days or weeks or months, however it may be. And yes, Shepherd said, the same Shepherd who ended up firing him, saying Robbo's on the contract to us for the next 2 seasons. We rewarded him with a contract extension, and England can forget about him taking the job on a permanent basis. And Howard Wilkinson, in fact, was caretaker manager, but because he was silly enough to say that England should forget about trying to qualify for the 2002 World Cup, and that, of course, was when England lost to Germany at Wembley, he was shunted aside. Thankfully, Sven-Göran Eriksson came in, and we got revenge in Munich, and that was when the song was made. But back to Brian Clough also looked terrible, and he also sadly passed away at the age of 69 due to
69. He was younger than a lot of those others. So, was it management that took its toll? Was it other things in his life? Would you say? Because he looked really bad, didn't he? At that, near the end of the management career, he had all that red blotches things on his face, spots and whatever, didn't he? He had all that on his face. He looked really bad, I thought. And what was it to do with that? The stress of that, or other things? Would you say that?
Yeah, he had stomach cancer, obviously, and
right, I had that as well.
Yeah, and look, it wasn't. He didn't really have any health issues prior to that, but obviously, there was a feeling that he had stayed at Nottingham Forest for a little bit too long, and it was really tragic, given that Forest, of course, were founder members of the Premier League, for him to end his career that way. 2-time European champion, of course, but still never won the FA Cup during his time with them. And, you know, he was linked obviously to the England job, also managing Wales, Scotland, and the Republic of Ireland. So that's 4 of the 5 home nations in the British Isles, of course. And obviously he, you know, had a lot of tiffs with a few other people, the likes of Peter Taylor and others.
Stephen's right. He should have been England manager. He was brilliant.
I can just imagine Cloughie, you know, making sure his players had shredded wheat for breakfast every single morning. But again, you know, the trick is never take more than 2. Only have never take more than 2, because if you have 3, he'll be on your case. You remember those advertisements, right, mate?
Oh, yeah.
He'll ask angrily who's had 3. And in one of those advertisements, it would be Brian Robson. Another one would be Peter Shilton. Another one would be Gary Lineker. Well. I don't remember Ian Botham, but maybe that would have been. Yeah. But
he was. Yeah.
I'll have to check that out. But obviously, Shilton was his goalkeeper as they won.
You talk about shredded wheat, aren't you? The adverts. He did do it. He said, "Oh, he said he can have more than 3. He eats more than 3 or something. One of them eats more than 3."
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm telling you. Invariably, it would be one of those eminent personalities. But listen, again, his cancer diagnosis wasn't really, you know, related to football, I would say. I mean, obviously, in 1991, he lost the FA Cup final to a Spurs team that beat Arsenal in the semi-final. That was, of course, the game where Gaza went completely mad and ended up damaging his knee before his move to Italy. And you know, he also, if memory serves me right, lost the 92 League Cup final to Manchester United, who went on to lose the Premiership to Leeds that season, I think. And in 93, I think somehow things just, you know, completely went to the dogs. I mean, Des Walker left the club, and you know, it was just sad how things really ended at Forest. And there was even a huge tiff between him and his captain, Stuart Pearce. And even his son, Nigel, was on the books at the club at the time. And it was sad how things sort of ended with him, really. But when you take a look at his managerial career, it is literally peerless. I mean, 1 First Division title, 2 European Cups, 4 League Cups, obviously, with Nottingham Forest. And I stand corrected. He won that League Cup in his last League Cup was in 1990. He also won the Full Members Cup in 92. And he also was a league winner with Derby County. So I really don't think his health problems were in any way related to his stint with management, because let's not forget there was a huge gap between his last game with Forest and, of course, when he sadly passed away. And he had been diagnosed barely a month or weeks or so before his days or so before his sad demise. But I guess there comes a time when maybe it takes its toll. And in addition, let's not forget, having managed Nottingham Forest for so long and forged a legend over there, at that time, I don't think he would have considered it fathomable that he would have joined another club. So maybe he also was one of those people who decided, you know, enough's enough, it's time for me to go. And it's just a shame that it ended on such a bitter note with Forest getting relegated. But, you know, it just goes to show not everyone gets to have the fairy tale ending. With a cricket connection, you know, the Aussie legend Don Bradman was out for a duck in his final game.
Yeah, true.
It just goes to show again, with cancer, it's all ifs and buts. You just can never tell. And he had a long retirement as well. So
the thing is, I know a lot about it. Certainly prostate cancer, man. Obviously, my dad's got it. So, but it's been obviously controlled. So you know, I know all about cancer, really. So thankfully, he's fine. He's still with us. So, you know, my dad. So
I offer all of you my very best wishes.
Cheers, mate.
And especially him.
Means a lot. Yeah, but he obviously has got it beat, thankfully. So Yeah, Leeds the last Division 1 title, then became Premiership. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, we all know that film. I'm sure we've all seen. A lot of us have seen that film, The Damned United, with Michael Sheen, and he does him. So Brian Clough, he was brilliant. So you've seen that, haven't you, Manny? The
Actually, I have. Actually, I haven't. I will have to see that sometime soon.
Oh.
The last football film I did see was One Night in Turin. That was the the account of our amazing Italia 90 campaign, and it was a wonderful thing to see. I remember seeing that when I was flying to England back to England, of course, to attend my sister's marriage, and it was a terrific film. But I will have to take a look at that. I love all of these sporting films.
Yeah, he's on about the Damned United. He's seen it, Stephen, as well. So he knows.
Yeah. Listen. That is on my bucket list, I promise you.
Yeah, we famously took over the Leeds, was it Derby job? Well, he was at Derby and then he took over the Leeds job. And nobody wanted him at Leeds. The players didn't want him. And they all sort of, revolted, was it Billy Bremner and all that lot? What's the other guy?
John Giles, don't forget.
Alan Clark.
John Giles, Irish legend. John Giles, yeah.
Yeah, and they were up in arms, and they didn't play well for him. They were, they played shit. Excuse me for swearing, but they played rubbish, I should say. And and didn't want to play for him, and just wanted him out of the team. So, but I think it's a really great film, and he obviously plays them really well. Michael Sheen, he studies these characters and plays them really well. Obviously done like Tony Blair, of course, and who else did he do? David Frost, done him. Frost versus Nixon. That's a great film as well. And he done the Chris Tarrant recently as well on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. You know that thing with the coughing bloke, Major Ingram, when he was doing that coughing and all that, he's giving the answers and he was going in the crowd. You remember all that, do you? Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Vaguely. I mean, obviously I remember Chris Tarrant from before Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. He had a few shows that he hosted. And
like Two Squads and all that and whatever.
Yeah.
I love Two Squads.
Yeah.
Sally James, she was great. Well, I better not get into that on you, but yeah, she was great. Yeah, it's a great story on him. Yeah. You can see that in YouTube called The Quiz. Yeah, it's called The Quiz. Yeah.
I will look that up on YouTube definitely. And obviously, you mentioned Michael Sheen. Yeah, I'm sure definitely his films are worth watching. You mentioned Frost versus Nixon. That is a must see. I should see some of that. But so back
to
the
Watergate scandal and all that with Nixon, wasn't it?
Exactly. And again, back to Cloughie again. It really is difficult to say. It really is difficult to say whether he would have lived longer. But he was one of those people who probably knew that it was time to retire. Because when you've managed Nottingham Forest for as long as he has, the way he's had, you just can't see yourself taking up another job. And given the legacy that he left there, how do you build on that? How do you try to top that? And given that you're not really getting any younger, and I don't know if people might necessarily would have wanted him, given that he was also touching 60 at the time, and had just taken the club to relegation. So, obviously some managers may still be in demand, but maybe he just didn't feel like doing it anymore.
Yeah, well, as you already mentioned here, man, he did die of stomach cancer on 20th of September 2004. Yeah, so. Yeah, you were right about that, obviously. But I just thought he just didn't look well when he was still manager of, I think, Forest and all that. When he was still manager there, he just looked terrible, And I thought, well, was it to do with that, the stresses of that job? But obviously he did have stomach cancer as well. I suppose that sort of was part of it.
Like I said, the cancer diagnosis came a lot later, but you did mention that obviously he had some red patches on his face. It could have been the stress. It could have been some other developments. I mentioned, Des Walker, the England defender, leaving to join Italy after Euro 92, obviously. And he also, that season, I said, had a tiff with Stuart Pearce, who was his captain. And I think it was a case of, the chemistry that had been formed then, just not really. I mean, it was just a case of the team and certain players and the ethos being maybe past a sell-by date of sorts. It shouldn't have ended that way, but it just goes to show that happens to every single dynasty, really.
Yeah, well, this is what I was talking about, Manny, here, the Damned United. The story of Clough's turbulent 44-day spell in charge of Leeds United was the subject of a novel by David Peace, titled The Damned United, published in 2006, which focuses on the rivalry between Clough and Don Revie. Despite critical acclaim, the novel was also a subject of controversy for its perceived negative portrayal of Clough as an obsessive and for some historical inaccuracies. The publishers of the novel were successfully sued by Irish midfielder and former Leeds player Johnny Giles. He wrote, many of the things Peace talks about in the book never happened, and for that reason I felt it necessary to go to the courts to establish that this was fiction based on facts and nothing more. The Clough family expressed disappointment at the publication of the book. It includes a scene with Clough in the Ellen Road car park burning Revie's old desk, for which there is no factual source. The book was later adapted into a film called The Damned United, starring Michael Sheen, and released in 2009. It too was successfully sued for defamation, this time by Dave Mackay, who in 2010 received an apology and an undisclosed sum from the producers. The Clough family declined to cooperate with the film, despite efforts by the filmmakers to lighten the dark tone of the novel. So there you go.
It just goes to show, if you want to, to create a novelization of anything historical, you have to ensure a minimum degree of accuracy, which is actually quite high. Yeah. At least 85 to 90% or more. If you try to embellish something for the sake of wanting to create a controversy and sell a story, you're asking for trouble. And what John Giles and the others did by suing David Peace there. I mean, he called himself Peace, but he ended up starting a war, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, war and peace, yeah.
In this case, it was the war with peace.
Yeah, yeah, that's right, mate. Oh, good, yeah. Stephen says he deserves an MBE, Michael Sheen, yeah. Yeah, he's brilliant character actor, he is, yeah.
Yeah, superb. I mean, there are so many eminent personalities who have been worthy of gongs that have been overlooked, and it's rather sad how a lot more recent stars are being given some higher honors. But hey, that's the honor system for you. Sometimes there are some things that are unjust about it. It is what it is, though.
There was a recent one I was watching actually about Cary Grant. I don't know if you knew about that. You saw that film? Somebody was portraying him, obviously in a sort of like a film documentary thing. And it was really, really good, actually. Because obviously one that got AIDS. I think he got AIDS, didn't he? Or was that Rock Hodgson? Sorry, I might be thinking of Rock Hodgson.
It was Rock Hodgson. I really don't think I
think he got something though, Cary. I know because I think he was gay. Wasn't he gay, or was he gay? Or maybe I am thinking of Rock Hodgson. I know it's something to do with that. But I know there is something to do with Cary Grant as well. But yeah, I think there was something about Rock Hodgson as well, because he was the one that I think he came out as gay, wasn't he? And all that, and
that. Yeah, Grant actually passed away due to a stroke. And,
sorry. I'm sorry for getting that wrong. I apologise, but I'm sort of thinking of that and that obviously. So I kind of got it a bit mixed up. But apologies to anyone that's to do with them. They're watching. I doubt if they are, but sorry for that, getting that wrong.
Yep.
And Stephen says defamation of character would cause a suing law. Yeah.
Exactly, and that's why I said, if you want to try to add all of these glaring inaccuracies to a lot of things, you have to be prepared for any sort of backlash. You've got to have an honest portrayal of everything that happened. And I know that when it comes to his Leeds career, it's very easy to portray Clough as the villain of the piece. But, you can't just have your way and try to twist history to your liking. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah, definitely. I think that was probably pretty much all I was covering on that sort of subject. I think that was it, really.
I'm just glad that your mind was at least taken away from what happened on midday Saturday.
Yeah, because that's actually what I was going to talk about next, Manny, to be honest.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I don't
know. The thing is, I was going to do that reaction to that and the Luton one, but my bloke that knows all about Luton has gone. He's gone off. I don't know where the hell he's gone.
But listen, you've got your agony uncle over here. Please tell me, get everything off your chest about the Brentford result. I'm all ears. I'm all earphones, rather.
Yeah, Stephen, you can come back on if you want to talk about Luton after this, by the way. So if you're still up for that, to come back and, come on, bro. You can come back. I didn't mean what I said earlier. I know I was a little bit harsh on you because it felt like he was like taking over from me. And I thought, well, I'm kind of like the host. And I don't think he took it too well that I was trying to say that to him. But, I didn't mean it badly, I wasn't having a go at him. I was just sort of saying, it's my job because I'm the actual host of the channel and everything. So you can understand that, can't you, Manny? That I'd want to be doing it myself rather than him taking it over, sort of thing. But I'm sure he'd be fine about it, Stephen. If, as I say, come back for that if you can for the Luton one. Because I was going to do, he was going to come on and do that, the reaction to that one, losing to Man United 2-1. So, because that was bad for them, obviously. They made some bad mistakes there and that. Luton, didn't they? So, they probably should have done better there. I think they could have beat United, to be honest. But there you go.
Yeah, the thing about that particular game was obviously, they were rocked with 2 early goals, but then they did fight their way back very well indeed. And it was just I actually felt a bit tired, so I turned off the telly after those few goals. But I also realised that Luton obviously huffed and puffed, but just couldn't quite blow the house down and couldn't really score any more goals. So it just goes to show that Kenilworth Road really is a tough place to play for many teams. And I just wonder how some of these other teams. I don't know when Liverpool are going to play them. I think that might be soon. The likes of Aston Villa and others will have to play them, obviously. So it is going to be a very difficult proposition. But as far as the Brentford game is concerned, I'm sure you had hopes of a decent performance. I'm really sorry, but rant away. I'm here for you.
Yeah, well, Stephen says he can come back, so I'll let him, if he wants to come back for this as well, he's welcome to. The more the merrier in here to hear me go off on one about this. That's great. No, my door went and pulled the plug. Oh, right, it wasn't to do with that. Okay, I thought I upset him or something. But he's all right. Anyway, so here it is on here. Right. Just got to say the score. I hate saying it. Brentford 1, Liverpool 4. Yeah. That's don't sound too great, does it? We conceded 4 goals at home. And I think it's the 5th or 6th defeat we've had at home now. I think it's the 5th. The 5th this season defeat we've had at home. How bad is that? When you consider what we've done the last 2 or 3 seasons. You know, what's going on, Thomas? I want you to let me know, man, because I've got no answers to this. What are we doing? Why are we suddenly a soft touch now? That's what I want to know. We got Ivan Toney and all that back. We got a lot of our players coming back, yet we're still struggling. After that Wolves game, you know, winning 2-0 against Wolves, we should have been back and at it for this one. Yeah, it's Liverpool. Yeah, they're tough. They're a great team. But we can beat teams like this. We've done this last season. We beat them at the G-Tech last season. We beat them 3-1. And we hadn't actually lost to them there until now. So what is happening, man? I really want to know. Because this is annoying me now.
To be fair, you're still missing Mbuemo, who really complimented Tony really well.
It's not just him, Manny. It's not just him. It's not a one-man team. And I'm sorry for being annoyed and angry, but this is just, you know, got to me, man. I don't get what's going on here. We were tough, man. We were like a rock at the back, a wall. For 2 or 3 seasons, we were hard to beat, you know. And now suddenly he's doing the same thing, the same formation, 3-5-2, which he played here again. And he hasn't changed it up. He's playing it again and again, Manny. It's not good. And he's playing the same like Fleck. Okay, Flecken had a good game last time against Wolves. But that's Wolves, it's not Liverpool. I want to see him do well against the big team. And yeah, maybe he wasn't at fault for a lot of the goals. I mean, the first goal was actually a great finish by Nunes. It was actually a really good finish. And okay, I don't think he's a great player, Nunes. He does miss more than he scores. Or keep it in the woodwork. But, you know, he scored a good one here. A great chip, you know. There was nothing Flecken could probably do about it. But there was mistakes again. There was also, you know, Aya made mistakes. Me made mistakes. Well, mainly Collins, actually, was the main fault of a lot of them. And, you know, I just don't get it. Why have we got so bad? You know, we were really good for at least 2 seasons. We were, you know, beating these. We beat you in our first game. We beat Arsenal 2-0 when we came up. And there was, you know, we beat City twice last season. Season before, I should say. You know, we beat them twice.
That was last season. That was the World Cup season.
Sorry, it was last season, yeah. But I kind of, well, I don't know what I'm thinking. I'm kind of thinking it was last year, but it wasn't because this is 23-24. But anyway, yeah, I don't get it, man. I'm just, you can tell I'm pissed off, can't you? And I'm sorry for swearing again. Apologise for swearing, everyone.
I can tell. And listen, I completely get why you're angry, and you have a right to be angry. But I would also like you to consider the fact that you're up against a Liverpool team that is more determined than ever to make sure that they that they win this title. They're top of the Premiership. They're only 2 points ahead of us. Of course, I've got the telly on, which is showing highlights of our win over Burnley. I will switch that off. I don't need to watch that. I know exactly what happened. And
Chris is right there. He says, I expected a tight game. They opened you up easily. They did open us up too easily. It's not good enough.
It isn't. But let's also put into perspective, you know, that were you really expecting anything, expecting a win? Because last season as well, you mentioned you beat Liverpool at the G-Tech, but that Liverpool team last season was extremely dire, for want of a nicer word. And they simply were, flattering to deceive on many, many fronts. This season, I think they've got a seriousness about them, and I think that seriousness has augmented in a way because with the news of Klopp leaving at the end of the season. So some of those mitigating factors have to be considered. I do agree, obviously, that conceding 4 at home isn't good, but it's just a reminder, mate, that it can happen to anyone. And Liverpool, obviously, after the disappointment of losing to us, they've been trying to they've been taking it extra seriously. And so, in as much as we've been giddy over our recent wins over West Ham and Burnley, where we've been scoring goals for fun, we have to assume that they're going to keep winning. So we can't afford to drop points, and we are going to drop points. And don't forget, you lot will be coming to the Emirates. So hope.
You'll probably beat us easily as well, Manny, because we're just a soft touch at the moment. We lost our sting, it's gone. I wish I knew where it's gone, but
I do get how you feel, but look, it is one of those games which just one of those days really where everything you tried just flopped and it didn't really work. But I think you've got to have some faith that you will have a turnaround sooner rather than later, and that's really the best way to
approach. Because we got City tomorrow, we got Man City away. We ain't going to win that.
And who do you have after? And who do you have after City? That's my question.
I think it's West Ham. I think it's West Ham. I believe
they're currently in a slump right now. That's a game which you can look to try and win.
Yeah, but I don't know though, Manny. I don't know. It's
just think Liverpool are a team that can spread the ball around. They have characters on the bench they can bring on at any moment in time. They're just and like May said, they are going all out for Klopp. They really are.
Yeah,
that kind of announcement drives teams a little bit more, gives a little bit more. If Klopp weren't leaving, it may have been a little bit closer, but they're driving forward for Klopp. They want to score goals. They want to make sure they've got that title wrapped up.
Yeah,
and that. So don't be so heartened by that. I know they opened you up easily, like Chris said, and they spread the ball around quite easy. But don't forget, you have got a few key players out, like Mbayo, like Manny said, and Tony hasn't got a man that you can rely on.
We got other players coming back.
Yeah, but Tony hasn't got a man that. But Tony hasn't got a man that he can depend on properly. He needs a man that he can feed off. Mbayo played that perfectly with Vissar early on in the season, didn't he? Him and Vissar played early in the season, played really well. That's what Mbayo does. He can feed in Tony, take the pressure away from Tony that puts on him. He feeds the ball through Tony, and Tony's on his own, unmarked.
Yeah.
But Liverpool, don't be disheartened by Liverpool. Liverpool are going out for a reason, and we know the reason.
Yeah. And they'll probably do the same to you, mate, I suppose.
They probably will. We got them Wednesday at Anfield.
Liverpool got main men out. Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, because Salah's hurt again, isn't he? After that one, I believe he's injured again, I suppose.
He's 50-50 for tomorrow, Wednesday, apparently. But don't be disheartened by that. They're going for a reason. We got them Wednesday. That ain't going to be no walk in the park. You got Man City. That ain't going to be a walk in the park. There'll be some time, like Man said, there'll be a time where it turns around.
Yeah, I suppose you can say it is swings and roundabouts, isn't it? Really, but
ups and downs, mate. Ups and downs.
Yeah, man. I don't know what's happened to us, though, because we were better than this. We had a stronger defence. And we're scoring a few more goals maybe this season.
Maybe that's where Frank That's where Frank maybe needs to look at in the summer a bit more defence, get rid of the old guard and bring in the new guard.
And we're still playing the same. He keeps playing the same formation, 3-5-2.
Yeah, I don't get that. I don't understand why he keeps with that.
He's not changing it up like he used to. As you kept saying before, he was changing it up a lot more. Changing the formation.
Every time he went one go down, he would change it up, and the opposition team didn't know which way you were turning because he used to change it. But now he's gone back to a routine where he thinks plan A, there's no plan B now.
Yeah. Oh, it's just I don't know, man. I'm just fed up, mate. Because I don't get this. Ain't the same Brentford team I remember. It's going to see them or watching them. I thought, well, why has it changed? Why has it suddenly gone different to how it was? How can we suddenly be so bad?
I think you need to. I think you need to get into a news report. Or get into the G-Tech and go to Frank. Could you tell me why you haven't changed it in recent weeks and we're losing? That's the ultimate question that needs to be asked.
Well, it's poor. I mean, there was a lot of poor performances, to be honest, as well. And as I say, the 3-5-2 again, Fleck and it's the same team almost.
If you look at it, what would you say was the main reason? Yeah. What would you say was the main reason? If you were watching it, like me and you were and watched along, what would you say the reason why you collapsed? What was the main reason?
Well, there were mistakes, weren't there? Let's be honest. I mean, okay, we did start well. We actually started pretty well because you was obviously on there with me.
Yeah, I thought you had a bright start.
We actually did all right to start with. But, I mean, it was weak finishing. Our shooting was weak. And, I mean, Tony looked bad. Some of his shooting weren't great.
Yeah, the free kicks he had weren't going anywhere either, were they?
Yeah. But, I mean, I know he scored again, which is a positive. He keeps scoring, which is good. But, I just don't know where else there is that's... I mean, I think when he brought a few of them on in the second half, we looked better when Visser and all that came on. Onyeka and the others,
I think, for me, personally watching it, I think the midfield is where you got overrun a little bit. Endo and that were doing quite well in the midfield, and every time it was in the midfield.
Hello says, your midfield.
Every time in the midfield, it sort of bypassed you a little bit and put more pressure on the defence because you had no midfield. They were working hard.
Yeah. Yeah, but the thing is, right, we have got a decent midfield. I mean, we've got Norgard, we've got Jensen. Very good.
I'm not saying they're bad. I'm just saying you're overrun. I'm not saying they're bad because I rate Norgard and Jensen. I wrote them both as really good midfielders. And when they get on the ball, they do make things happen. But on Saturday, they were overrun. Norgard was trying to sit back a little bit more to try and help out the defence. And Jensen was in the park on his own. And when you've got two or three midfielders in there, one person can't do it.
Yeah.
It's just overrun a little bit. You maybe Frank needs to just think about, hold on, let's put forward back. Let's go 4-4-2 again. So I've got a short defence. I've got a packed midfield. And I've got two up front. I know it's an old cliche. Not many teams do 4-4-2 now. But maybe you need to go back to a basic 4-4-2 to get that reassurance in midfield, and the two up front that can do a job. I know you ain't got. I know Mempai and Tony the front two at the moment, but to compact that midfield a little bit more might give a bit more assurance to the defence.
Yeah, I agree with Stepsy. I just think a back to basic approach would be better. A back four would be a start. Make sure you have some trust in the midfield, and then just get your two up front and try that at least, and see how it works. I mean, obviously that it's sort of the same, sort of that thing how people try to use these different formations either because they're supposedly inspired by, other managers, or because they want to try something different to try and counter something. But if it isn't really working, and I think the big danger with having a 5-man midfield at times, or a 3-man midfield with 2 wing backs, is that if you end up, I mean, it can be a little bit, jammed or claustrophobic in some ways, and you will have to be prepared to be taken apart, I believe. And obviously, Liverpool have continued to play the 4-3-3 formation. I think they even started Bradley in this match ahead of Joe Gomez, with Robertson, of course, back at left back. So they're now in a position where, with some of their injured players coming back, they're sort of getting into their stride right now. And so I just think, maybe a few changes to your team. Did Damsgaard get on the pitch?
Yeah, he came on, didn't he?
He did, man. Yeah, he didn't do anything. He didn't do anything.
Oh, yeah.
As usual.
The thing they said about Bradley, it's good competition for Liverpool when they've got young players that they can count on, that when players do come back, it might find it hard to get the team. So it gives more dimension, more challenges for places, which makes Liverpool an even stronger team.
Yeah, I agree. And of course, with Klopp leaving, the question is, will Trent Alexander-Arnold have a future as a right back, or will the new manager use him as more of a right-sided midfielder? That's the question that has to be asked.
I like the question. The question for me is, he can't do a defensive job. He's better going forward.
Exactly, but
I've got a lot of Liverpool fans who think that Arnold should be a right midfielder.
Yeah, and I think Hanno's comment pretty much says it. It's time to upgrade the level. And, this will depend on the activity you have in the summer transfer window. If you can get a couple of signings in who can really improve the team, especially the midfield, then do it. If you're going to lose Tony, get as much dosh as you can for him and use that dosh wisely, just like
apparently
West Ham
got strikers, Manny. We got striker. We got that new one in for the summer. Apparently, what's his name? Igor Thiago, I believe his name is.
And you for Jonathan Davis as well, aren't you?
Jonathan David, we're after apparently as well.
Oh, Jonathan David. Mel and Chris Mossing will know about him. Canadian international.
That's the
really
one.
Good talent.
That's the one.
Yeah. Mel says she likes him. He's brilliant, He's a really great player. And I think Arsenal will after him at one stage, maybe.
If you get someone like Davis for a cut price deal, sort of, because I know he wants to leave, he wants a new challenge, apparently. If you get him for a nice deal, if you get a nice deal and then you've got a bit of money, like you can shore up that defense and get another midfielder that knows how to boss the midfield. One of them old mold midfielders that can command his midfield.
Defensive and
doesn't have to be a captain.
All like Rice,
midfielder that knows how to play the game.
You get similar to Rice, really.
Yeah, someone like Rice. Yeah, someone like Rice who knows who knows the passion of play and can command his midfield.
Yeah.
Just go on, Hanno. Hanno, your comment about Adebayo being out for Liverpool, that's not confirmed yet because because Edwards hasn't had his press conference yet. He has it tomorrow, and Adebayo was pulled up with a hamstring injury, not out with a pulled hamstring, not a ripped hamstring. So he's not definitely out yet.
By the way, Manny, you've got to go. I see, mate. You left me a message in there. Yeah. Anyway, do you want to shout your socials out, mate, before you go?
Yeah, I will. And first of all, big up to you, Mr. B, for having me on. And hopefully I'll come back on the stream. I'll come back on the channel anytime soon. And big up, of course, to my other channels, Oris Talks Football, Coach's Corner, Del Boy Gunner TV, who was in the chat. Also, shout out to Tony Claude Gunner TV, Danny AFC TV. I will be doing a watch along with him for the Arsenal Porto game on Wednesday. Should be a hoot and a half. We'll see. And also up the cherries in all departments. Football United. Also Rich Sports, who was in the chat. Big up as well to AFC Talk Show TV, Northside LDN, Old School Gunner, Eugen Spurs Asia TV. All those channels where I've made appearances, obviously, and really close to my heart, as are several others that I can't think of at the moment. And I always say that it's really important to make sure that we treat each other the way that we'd like to be treated, namely with some form of respect and not really, trying to dominate a conversation, allow people to say what they want to say, and also just avoid, being disrespectful. If we can't agree to disagree without being disagreeable, there's no point in having a discussion. So let's just learn to get along with one another. Socials, I am off all social media until Easter Sunday, so don't try to catch me there, but you can catch me on YouTube, obviously, and I will be back on all those channels on Easter Sunday. And of course, just look up my name on the bottom left-hand corner, and you should see this mug, of course, in a blue striped T-shirt, and that's where you'll find me on Instagram, on Threads, and on Twitter, and on Facebook. And enjoy this upcoming week. I know Everton and Crystal Palace are playing tonight. Enjoy that match. Do enjoy the other football, including the European football coming up this week. And stay safe and be happy.
Porto
and don't do anything.
Don't forget that game. Porto and Arsenal.
I did mention that. I did mention I was doing a watch along. And
of course you are.
As usual, don't do anything that Stepsy, Steve, and I wouldn't do. But as always, farewell to thee. Goodbye and God bless to all of you. And I will see you again soon. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers, bro. You take care, yeah? Have a great evening, yeah?
Yeah, cheers boys. Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Cheers, mate.
Yeah, I'm going to have eyes on the Chelsea Everton game. I've got my eyes on that because that's down our end. So I've got my eyes on that fully tonight.
Yeah. Oh, cheers coming back, by the way. I thought I'd upset you.
I went and I pulled the plug.
I thought, oh no, I've upset him. I said about I'm taking over
the door went and I pulled the plug. I jumped up. Obviously, I've got the plug's here. I don't know if I can show it. No, it's on the table now. I did it by my feet. I jumped up to get the door and pulled the plug at the same time. I went, oh.
Oh, right, yeah. So it weren't my fault.
Nearly went arse over tit at the door as well.
Yeah. Oh, I'm glad, mate. It weren't my fault. I thought, oh god,
no, weren't you?
Upset him or something.
No. The door went and I pulled the plug at the same time.
Yeah.
I should learn. If people want me that badly, I should get up nice and easily, step over what I'm meant to step over, and hit the door, not jump up and pull off the computer with me.
Yeah. Yeah, I could have said it to you being framed, mate, if I got it on there, isn't it? On the video. You could
have it. Yeah, but if it was one that way, you could have seen it.
Yeah, is it still on you being framed? I don't know. I'm not sure.
No, it's been on for time now, is it?
Yeah, I had Harry Hill on that doing it, didn't they, for a while?
He was the last one to do it when Jimmy Beadle started it, didn't he?
Yeah, Beadle,
and then that girl from Emmerdale done it for
Lisa
a bit.
Riley.
Lisa Riley, and then Harry Hill.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember I used to love that back in the day, watching that with Jeremy Beadle and that. When he
I used to watch Beadle's About as well.
Oh, yeah, Beadle's About.
Beadle's About. Yeah. Watch out. You better watch
Game for a Laugh. Was it Game for a Laugh?
Oh, that was good as well. Yeah, that was good as well, yeah.
Yeah, all the old nostalgia, mate, coming back again. Retro.
Yeah.
Loved all that.
On YouTube.
Back in the day. But anyway, we better get on with this and crack on with this. I've got
like we said, I think the midfield needs to be shored up a bit and defence as well. But if you can get a big price for Tony, then things can be addressed.
Yeah.
If he does go.
I was really going to go into one about this. I sort of held it back a bit with Manny being in here rather than you and all that, because you can sort of handle my sort of rants in a way rather than I don't think Manny would have liked it because I might have started swearing and you know what he'd be like. Oh no, swearing, no swearing.
Yeah, but that's his old school. That's his old school. He's brought up properly. I mean, we're common as muck, me.
Yeah. Speak for yourself, mate. Anyway, keep hitting the like button and subs to the channel. Yeah, I will. Yeah, please do that. Please do.
Big up Chelsea fan for saying that.
Cheers, Chelsea fan. Yeah, you got the final soon with Liverpool. So
yeah, Sunday.
Yeah, it should be good. Carabao Cup, isn't it? Yeah.
That's why we've got to play. That's why we've got to play Liverpool on Wednesday night. Bastards.
Yeah.
Could have done about that. Definitely could have done about that.
Yeah, so anyway, getting back to this, do you think, would you have blamed Flecken for any of those? I don't think he really had much chance of any of them.
No, I'm not. I would blame Flecken. I mean, the Nunez goal where he chipped him, I mean, Flecken was on his own. He had to come out and try and nail the angle. But when you got someone like Nunez bearing down on goal and his ability, this one he did slot away.
Yeah, but you say that he don't generally always finish, does he, Nunez? Let's be
honest.
No, he
don't always. But when he's
hits the woodwork or whatever.
Yeah, but this time, I mean, I think he's had a bit of composure, and this time he was in red hot form.
Yeah.
Unfortunate for you.
I know. Yeah. I mean, would you say it was actually any of ours that stood out, any of our players? Because I can't think of one, to be honest.
I wouldn't. I thought you were all pretty much chasing shadows most of the game.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think Region was that great this time either. I think
Bruce did put in one or two balls, but there's no one on the end of it. So really, you can't say he had a good game because there's no one on the end of it.
Defending wise, I think I don't think it was that great.
I don't think Collins was awful. Benmy was all out of position.
Collins,
It was just you were dreadful in defence.
Oh, Collins was woeful, man.
Big up, Mel.
Oh, she in here again?
Yeah, Miss Melina.
Yeah, she's there. Yeah. Yeah, big up Chelsea fan. Yeah, big up me. Big up Mel. I mean.
Yeah, not you. He's always said big up to you and me.
I thought he said big up me, and I think
he's always said big up to us. He's always said big up to us.
I didn't see the L. I thought I bloody moved. My sight's going, mate. My sight is bloody going,
he's
man.
He's always said big up Mr. B, Stephen and Manny.
She got Specsavers, mate. But,
mine are from Specsavers.
Oh, no, did you get 2 for 1, mate? Did you get that? 2 for 1?
No. That's a con. It don't work.
It is, mate. Yeah, I done that with them. Fucking works out more than it should have been, the price.
Yeah.
Hell. You're right, it is a con. Fucking con. Scam. But, yeah, anyway, getting back to this. Let's get back to this. As I say, yeah, Collins was shit. Jensen, Janel, I don't know. Norgard, I don't think they were at their best either.
Yeah, it was awful. Jensen trying to make things work, but he was on his own and didn't get much of the ball.
Good balls again. Some of them were pretty decent, good passes.
Yeah, Jensen was good, but like I said, he got overrun in midfield again, and he can't do it on his own. Yeah,
I don't think Norgard was actually at his best either. So
Norgard was trying to help the defence as much as he could, so he's sitting deeper, which didn't help. It didn't help the midfield because he tried to do what most people do, mop up and try and get things going, but it weren't going to happen. Liverpool were rampant.
Yeah, I mean, Mopai done some decent things at times, but his shooting was pretty woeful, and so his passing at the end as well, I don't think was great.
No.
I mean, Tony had some decent chances again, but it's not his shooting was shit, you know.
Yeah, it looked a bit woeful at times.
I know you're probably happy about that. You don't like seeing him do well,
but at the end of the day, he's there to do a job for you, and he's not doing it. He's scoring goals, but you're conceding more than he's scoring.
Yeah,
and that's the problem.
I mean, when he brought these players, some of these players, I think we look better with some of these coming on. I mean, Lewis Potter, obviously, Damsgaard, I think he's weak, and I don't know what the point of him is. I don't rate him at all. He done nothing when he came on. Godos, I don't know.
You said that 3 times in 3 debate shows about Damsgaard.
Yeah, I don't rate him, man. I don't. He's shit. He ain't good enough. He's been a Dutch international. I think how has he been a Dutch international? Danish international, I should say, not Dutch.
Like Flecker, how was he a Dutch international?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. Dutch, yeah, double Dutch, more right. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I think I don't know what the point was of bringing Godos on. I don't think he's quite up to it yet. He's just come back from the was it the Asia Cup? He played
for Iran.
Iran, yeah. Yeah, I don't think he's quite ready for this yet. He's only just come back. You know, some of it. Lewis Potter done all right again when he come on. I thought he was fairly good. Good to see Onyeka and that back. Obviously, Vissa. They added a bit more up front. I think those two.
I think Liverpool by then they had the job done, really, didn't they? And they were just.
Well, that's when we got it back to 3-1, wasn't it? When they come on.
I think by then they were coasting, weren't they? Liverpool. I think they were coasting.
Yeah.
When you brought the players on, I think they were coasting.
Yeah, I just think we made it easy for them in the end, Stephen. I just really do.
I tend to agree with that. I think it was fairly easy for them.
You know, their one's 4-3-3, and of course, I thought, we got a better chance. They got Kelleher in goal, not bloody Allison. You know,
it's not a bad replacement. He done okay.
I mean, I never really sort of rated him, Kelleher. I didn't think he was that special, but I don't think we tested him enough, to be honest. So
no, that's probably one mistake you didn't make. You didn't take shots at him. But when he did shot, it didn't go nowhere near him. So really, he could have sat down and had a picnic most of the time.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I rate that Bradley as well. You know, I rate that.
Yeah, I rate Bradley. I think for the youth system, he's come through, and I think he's going to give the club something to think about when one or two players do return.
Yeah. Robertson is back again. Of course, he's a good player, great player,
quality player. Pity he plays for Scotland.
Yeah, well, that don't mean a lot, but I mean,
that's what I said. Pity he plays for Scotland.
Only Scotland, yeah.
Pity.
Yeah, imagine having him and probably like Tierney or whatever playing for England. Yeah, that'd be great, wouldn't it?
Be all right, wouldn't
it? Hickey's another one. He's still out, of course, unfortunately. Yeah, so they had him. Endo, I don't know about him. I don't think he's that great. I don't know about you. Do you think he's anything special?
Endo does enough. He's one of them sort of players that gets the ball, moves it along, and sort of mops up any loose ball.
And then, of course, you got
he does what he's supposed to do.
Yeah, does a job. Yeah. Yeah, got Canate, he was strong again. I thought really pretty good at the back again for them.
Yeah, McAllister looks all right.
Van Dijk, yeah, bloody McAllister gets a rare goal. It has to be against us, doesn't it? You don't get that many. And of course he scores against us. Yeah, Jones went off and they brought Gravenberch. He done quite a bit for them when he come on.
Yeah, he was hustling and bustling.
Yeah. Yeah, and Elliott came on from McAllister, but, I don't think he done that much. Gakpo, of course, we know Gakpo done. He fucking scored. When he come on.
That's international.
Yeah. I think it's I think we made another mistake there or something at the back. That's how he scored. Did we give it away? I think we give it away, and he scored there. So.
Well, it was passed to him, and your defence was all on one person, and you left him unmarked.
Yeah, true. Not good at all. Jota, of course, he went off on a stretcher. Unfortunate for him.
Yeah, I hope he's okay. It's not too serious.
Yeah, I hope he gets better after that.
Yeah, I think he might have torn his hamstring or something.
Oh no!
If you do that, you can't walk.
No, he won't be back for quite a while then, I shouldn't think. So
no, it takes a little time to recover, but you never know.
And of course, Salah came on for him, and we know what happened there. He scored as well.
No!
Yeah, come on, sing your song. I know you want to sing your song.
Oh no!
Come on. Salah next to me, Salah. Come on, I know you want to sing that. Come on.
Mo Salah. Salah next to me. Mo Salah.
Yeah, shut up now.
Mo Salah. Mo Salah.
Yeah, that's enough now, Stephen. That's enough, man. No, let's carry on. Diaz, he didn't actually score for a change. One player who didn't score against us, Diaz.
Diaz.
Yeah, another class player, great player, Diaz as well.
Yeah, quality player.
Yeah, man. Look at all the players they got they could bring on, and what we got, fuck all. And came on for Bradley. Simicast didn't get a game, he didn't come on. Gakpo, of course, yeah, Kwanzaa. Adrian, what happened to him? All right. I was playing like what Manny was saying about Rocky. Adrian! Mohamed Salah. Yeah, we know him. Yeah. McConnell. I don't know him at all, but probably quite good. Elliott. Yeah,
Harvey Elliott.
Yeah, good player.
Yeah.
Very good player. Yeah, so I don't know what else to say about that. What a fucking disaster.
Real Man City.
Yeah, we got City, yeah. Thanks for reminding me.
You're welcome.
I was going to do a preview for that, but I don't know whether to bother. I suppose I better do it tomorrow now. I'm not doing another one today. So that's it. It'll be tomorrow now, the preview. But anyway, let's get into the stats, not that they matter. They had 63% possession to our 37%. Again, that shouldn't matter if you're scoring goals and keeping it tight and not conceding any, that shouldn't matter at all. But it did matter this time because they had 8 shots on target to our 6. We had 7 shots off target. Oh dear. What a record that is. 7 shots off target to their 5. They had 5 big chances to our 1. They had 614 total passes to our 357. They always dominate possession, let's be honest.
Yeah, Liverpool.
Yeah. They're just like City, really, aren't they? They both dominate with passing. Complete passes, 508 to 247.
That might be a little bit bigger.
Yeah. They done 10 tackles to our 6, 2 blocks each. We won 55 duels to their 39. They had 6 corners to our 1. We had 3 offsides to their 2. And they done 18 fouls to our 4. But what it really comes down to is they won 4-1 at our ground. So fuck that. I don't want to know about that anymore. Get rid of that. And we move on to your game.
Do we have to?
Yeah. Because I want to forget about my one. So let's move on to yours. Well, your one was closer, let's put it that way. I know you,
37 seconds. 37 seconds in, they score. Yeah, that's close as it.
Yeah, but you only lost 2-1, mate. You didn't
youngest person to score. The youngest scorer to score inside a minute. That's the record. Hoyland. Okay. Yeah. Okay. We'll go.
Yeah, I made up for him, though, haven't you?
Yeah.
You made up for him or not?
Huh?
You made up for him doing that?
No. Not that. No, we kicked off. We had our chance. They cleared it. Ball comes over the top. I think from a Van Dijk clearance, or it might be or it might have even been for the goalie. I can't quite remember. Comes over. Bell's there, sticks the leg out to try and... I don't know what he's trying to do. It confused me because I thought it'd be easy to head the ball back to the keeper. I don't know if he was trying to square it to Menji or try and find Osho, who's behind the play at the time. But he stuck his leg out. He didn't get no contact with it, and it falls right on the sprint of Hoyland, run onto the ball, past... round Kaminsky puts the ball in the back of the net to make it 1-0. And I'm thinking, oh, jeez, this is going to be a long afternoon now. 7 minutes in. Yeah. They go on the break. It falls to Garnacho. Garnacho takes a fierce shot. It's going wide. Somehow, Hoyland gets a chest on it, and it ends up nesting in the bottom corner. Okay, people say he meant to do it. Some people say he didn't mean to do it. He come out and said he meant to do it. I have no clue he meant to do that. I think it's a reaction, and it just happens to nest in the back of the net. So, 7 minutes gone, 2-0 down. I'm thinking, Jesus Christ, it is going to be a long afternoon.
Well, that was a bad mistake, though, by that Amari Bell, wasn't it?
Oh, it was a dreadful mistake. It was a dreadful mistake. Dreadful mistake. I don't rate him, and I never have.
What do you think about that thing with the referee, though? They reckon he might have got in the way of that or something, because you were on the offence.
Well, I've got a mate who's a referee.
Yeah.
And he says they'll only stop it if the ball hits him and gives an advantage.
Right. Yeah.
But he should have been in the fucking way in the first place.
Fucking Davy Coote, isn't it? That way.
Yeah, awful. Yeah. Worst, one of the worst referees we've had there.
Oh, we got quite a few. Don't worry, we got loads of them. Yeah.
So for that first goal, he got in the way. But anyway, 2-0 up after 7 minutes.
And
then obviously we started getting in the game. They laid off a bit. We got more into the game. And we had a few crosses cleared. And then Casemiro was getting involved as well. And I think he should have been sent off, to be perfectly honest with you. He made a challenge. First challenge, got a yellow card. You see him on the floor, kneeling, going, oh my God. And then 3 minutes later, he done another one right in front of the referee. Why he didn't send him off, I still don't know. There were 2 bookable offences, and they say on the TV, oh, if he hadn't been booked the first time, he'd have been booked then. Well, it don't matter if he's been booked. It's a second bookable. He should have been gone.
Well, that's right. I agree with
that. And him staying on the pitch, I'm bewildered why he stayed on the pitch.
Mind you, it's not as bad as fucking Mason Holgate for Sheffield United. What about
that?
Was
awful. That was
fucking
awful.
Terrible, man. And he gave him a yellow to start with.
That's a hanging offence. That's a hanging offence. But anyway,
ref gave him a fucking yellow.
Yeah, so
not a red to start
well,
with.
they got rid of him for I fucking intervene that. He's gone. Seriously, it's free-game ban. See you later.
They caught him up on the top of his fight and his on his leg.
I don't care much about they're down. They're gone. See you later. Bye. Sheffield United. Fuck off. Done. I don't care about them.
Anyway, Stephen,
we don't play them shit houses again. They're gone. Done. Burnley.
Yeah, sorry, I bet not. I can't say about that, can I? I shouldn't throw stones down, mate.
Everyone at home, Forest at home. They're the ones we've got. Palace away. They're the ones we've got. Brentford at home. They're the ones we've got to worry about.
Yeah, I don't think you need to worry about us by the looks of it.
No, easy 3 points, but still. Yeah, so we started getting crossed in. Doherty started putting balls in. Is getting headed away most of the time. Obviously, we got Chong was working hard against his former club. He managed to get the ball on the sort of inside from a Doherty cross. He turned, he spun his man, shot, saved, sort of blocked up in the air. Shaw was trying to mark Morris. Morris managed to spin him, get his head on the ball, pass to Onana, who was flapping all over the place like Onana does. And then back in it, so 2-1. And we're back in the game.
Right.
Yeah, flap Onana. And we got back in the game. Having Abdullah out didn't help. He got injured just before he got pulled up during the warm up. So Woodrow had to take his place. I don't rate Woodrow. He's not good enough for this league. He tried to do some touches.
He's been around a few teams, hasn't he? I think he's been.
Yeah, he was a youngster with us. Then he went to Fulham. Then Fulham played him a bit sparingly. Then he moved to Barnsley, now back to us. But anyway, he scored a winner in the FA Cup, but against Everton. But I don't class that as anything.
He's not that great, is he? No.
That's what I'm about.
Before I know you're going to get to it, Stephen, eventually, but I know that brilliant interception by Lukonga when they was going to score.
Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah. Sorry, mate.
What a great block! What a great block!
That was amazing, man.
He took it around Kaminsky, and then shot, and Lukonga was there to block it. Brilliant block.
I don't think he was any good at Arsenal, but he's come to you lot, and he looks really good.
Yeah, he looks a class act. He looks a class act. I'd love to sign him permanently. To be fair,
you should do. You should. Yeah.
Yeah. They came with a game plan of countering us on the attack and on a break. They were very effective on the break. Kaminsky kept us in it. He made some wonderful saves.
Although he did do that bad mistake kick out. He gave it away, didn't he? When he kicked it out.
It didn't come to nothing. So I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about the more saves he made, the more we were.
Yeah, he was great again. I think saving the shots and that.
Yeah, he saved quite a few shots and gave the ball up quite well. But Man United came with a game plan. They executed it quite well. We made some interceptions. We made some tackles. We kept Gazzacho quite quiet. He had a snapshot, 1 or 2 snapshots, but we kept him fairly quiet. Obviously, Casemiro and Maguire. That foul on Maguire should have been a red card, I believe, on the edge of the area. That should have been a free kick. He should have been off as well. Slabhead. Then 2-1 off at half time.
Oh yeah.
Then 2-1 off. It tells a lot about the scenario, really. So they then 2-1 off because they're on bookings. I wonder why Ten Hag took him off. I wonder why. There's a tail in that story, I should think, as well.
Yeah, mate.
Shaw went off injured, and Lindelof came on for him. So, and I think being had a wonderful day, tearing Lindelof apart.
Yeah. Shaw's out again, and he got another bad injury.
Yeah,
I bet he's still getting that England team.
May not were good enough to sit. I mean, we had a couple of shots. I mean, they had 20 shots. We had 22.
Yeah.
Obviously, we had that one at the death, but Barkley header just over the bar.
Oh yeah, hit the bar, didn't it? Hit the bar.
Hit the bar, yeah, hit the bar. Yeah. But last effort of the game, there was chances. And Chris, yeah, you could say we need to work on our far third, but we didn't have we didn't have Adebayo there either. So if Adebayo had been there, there would have been he'd have got his head on a few things, and it might have caused a few more problems. With Adebayo and Morris on the pitch at the same time, them two caused trouble, and the set pieces would have been a lot more dangerous.
I thought we both had good shots. I thought they had chances.
Yeah, we had chances, but I still say if they had been on the pitch, it'd been a lot tighter, a lot more panic in that Man United defence. There'd been a lot more panic because Johnny Evans when Evans came on, he got his own head on every cross. Every cross, Evans cleared it. If Adebayo had been on the pitch, Evans would have got nowhere near it.
Yeah, I don't think arrest rates him, but I mean, I think he's really good, Evans.
No, he's done a job. He's done a job against us. He had everything away. If Adebayo had been on the pitch, I don't think Evans would have got any on anything. To be fair, but at the end of the day, Man United saw the game out. Their counter attack worked well. They got them 2 early goals, which deflated us a little bit. We got back into it. We never give up. 110% again. I'm gutted about the result. I'm deflated about the result more than I'm gutted because it's Man United. At the end of the day, we only lost by 1 goal again. This is again and again, it's by 1 fucking goal. Arsenal, 1 goal. Tottenham, 1 goal. Man City, 1 goal. Liverpool, draw.
At least you didn't lose 4-1, mate. So
we're not losing by large margins.
No,
Anfield, Wednesday, Anfield is going to be a fucking test and a half. I know that. It's going to be a hell of a test, but I reckon we're up for it. I reckon if we lose, it won't be by many. I just don't want us to get slaughtered. I don't want us to get rampant. I don't want them to get rampant against us. But we're taking a good.
You don't want to concede 4 goals, do you?
We're taking a good 3,000 there again, and we'll make a lot of noise, a lot of racket, and get beyond the boys. It's just we're just not getting above the green. When you're up the top, you get above the green. When you're down the bottom, things go against you a little bit.
I know it. Yeah.
But we're still in there. We're still fighting, and we won't give up until that final whistle goes. We've got some good games coming up. Obviously, Liverpool Wednesday, Tuesday, Man City. So we'll get them out games out of the way. We see where we are after the FA Cup, and we'll go again. Let's hope for a good result Wednesday. Let's hope for a quarter-final draw, beat Man City in the FA Cup. Let's get a quarter-final FA Cup. And then let's push for the final couple of months of the season. I know we're going to fight. I know we're going to go to the end. I'm gutted, but I'm proud of my boys. I really am.
Yeah, so you should be, mate.
Big shout out to Chong. Big shout out to Morris. Big shout out to Benji as well. Doherty. All the boys.
Yeah,
all the boys there.
A lot of good performances again, you know.
Kaminsky. Bell, get out.
Yeah.
Woodrow, get out.
Yeah. Yeah, but in the main, though, there's a lot of great performances again by a lot of good players.
Yeah, there's a lot of good performances from my boys. I'm proud.
Yeah. Yeah, you should be proud of them. I think they played a lot better than us. Well, that's not difficult, is it? You know, I think we capitulated against Liverpool. Really, I really do.
I think the thing is, we're fighting. We know we're good enough.
Yeah.
Brentford are rolling over too easy at the moment.
Yeah, but you got more threats than we have as well in your team. There's more threats there to them. So they're going to have more to deal with you lot than they did with us, I think. So
let's hope so.
You know, I mean,
I know. Yeah, Chris is right. We need to work on the far third, but if Adebayo's playing and stuff, we've got enough there.
Yeah,
it was just one of them days where he got injured, and it was unfortunate. He came at the worst possible time, to be fair. But you can look on the plus side. I mean, look how we rolled over Brighton.
Yeah.
Look how we put up the performance against Newcastle. We've got goals on our side.
Oh, you have, mate. Yeah, you have. There's threats from a lot of players there, you know. From
keeping Barkley and Lokonga fit will be crucial, but they're putting in performances now. No one in that team yesterday is downhearted. There's downhearted. They know that the win's coming.
Was that your actual formation, by the way? 3-4-2-1. Was that the actual formation?
Kind of. You could say it was, but it's more 5-3-2, more 4-3-2, because you're going to play. You got your left wing back that's Doherty. Your three centre backs, which is Osho, Bell, and Menji, and then on the right you've got Abenge. In the middle you've got Lukonga, Chong, and Barkley, and up front you've got Woodrow and Morris. So it's more 5-3-2 really. But
do you want to do any of your player ratings? Do you want to do any of that?
No. I'm saying clear of it.
No, I'm not going to do mine because they're fucking shit.
I'll do the main threats. Kaminsky deserves an 8 because of his saves. Menji for his up and up deserves an 8, and I'll sort of say Barkley and Lukonga are both 8s, and Morris is probably an 8 as well.
Yeah. Well, you got a lot better players that performed than we did, so. I'm not gonna bother rating my lot because they were fucking useless. So I ain't gonna bother.
Every single one of them are 3.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. So this is the this is the stats anyway. You had more possession. 59.
Yeah, they like I said, they were more counter attack.
Yeah, you won more duels as well.
Yeah,
and aerial duels.
We were in it.
They done more interceptions. You had more offsides for 1. 8. You had more corners to them. But
yeah,
I mean,
8-6. Yeah,
8-6. Yeah, but I mean, a lot of this don't matter, does it? It's the score, really. But,
yeah. But the stats in this tells you the story of that we were in it.
Yeah, you had better passing accuracy than them.
84%,
77. Yeah, passing accuracy in opponent's half. Yeah, more as well, and done more crosses than they did. Look, 35.
It proves we were in it. We were in it. Just no end product because there was no aerial threat.
This is on the actual Luton Town website. This one.
Yeah.
Want
to go there? LutonTown.co.uk.
Yeah, you go on there quite a bit, I think.
Yeah, I go on hatsnews.co.uk as well.
Yeah, do you ever purchase anything from there, mate, on the merchandise?
I've shop before, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, well, what's the best sort of thing they got at the moment? They got what's the strip? How much is the kit worth? How
60.
much is the kit? 60?
Yeah, 59.99. Kids, 30.
Oh, right. Well, that's not too bad. Yeah, I think your strip's quite good. I like the orange one. I like that one. I think that's good.
I like the white one. I like the white one.
Yeah.
I've got the white one.
Yeah, I've seen you wearing it, I think, before.
No, you haven't, because I haven't worn it.
Oh, I thought you had. Oh, no, it might be the orange one.
I'm still waiting to get the Premiership badge. That's what I've got to put on next.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Then I wear it. Then you see me wear it.
Yeah, it's quite nice.
I've got Stepsy. I've got 7 and Stepsy on the back.
Yeah, actually, the white one is good as well. Yeah, they're both good, them ones. Yeah. Yeah, I can't be bothered to wear my bloody Brentford shirt at the moment. Don't want to.
You wore it once.
Yeah, well, I got the home one and I got the away one. So I got the new home one as well, the recent one. So got all that one. So because we changed it this season.
That was a bad purchase this season, wasn't
it? Yeah. But I got it cheaper.
Keep the sleeves because it might be Sky Bet the Championship badge next season, mightn't
it? Fuck off. I know you were loving it now, Stephen. But
yeah, I'm loving it, but I'm not happy about it. Trust me, where we are, that Palace 7 game is going to be
behind us. Huh? Is it Forest to a point behind us now? And
yeah, they won. I can't believe they beat West Ham.
Yeah, I could not. West Ham was shit again, I thought. They were useless.
They were.
Yeah, anyway. Forest played well, though, I suppose. They did play well, but Forest was shit though, and yeah, I'm trying to think who's that's behind. I know you're still what 3? Are you 3 points behind? 4 points behind?
4 points behind Palace.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah, we need to win against Hunter.
And 4 points behind you.
I can't see us getting anything at City, unfortunately. I wish we could get a draw, but I don't think that'll happen. So I can't see it happening the way we are at the moment. So
yeah, Haaland didn't score on Saturday. He's aiming all his shots for you.
Oh yeah, yeah. You know what he can do. Fuck off.
Yeah.
But anyway, anyway, mate, I'm gonna bounce because I've been on there over 2 hours now. Do you know that?
Time.
Yeah, bloody good. It's the new year. It's 2025 now. I've been on here.
Yeah.
It goes quick though these years now, don't they?
They do. Yeah. Very, very, very quick.
Got in no time now.
We're only a week and a bit away from March.
Yeah, you got all the Easter eggs out and everything already.
Yeah. Well, where's my Easter egg?
Yeah, I don't have Easter eggs much anymore. I used to. But...
I buy my own now.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I used to always get them.
I buy my own now. I'm a bit partial to the mini eggs.
Oh right, yeah. Yeah, I had like the lint ones and that. Lint.
A bit expensive. My dad usually gets me. My dad and Sue usually get me a celebrity Easter egg celebrations.
Oh right, celebrations. Yeah.
I love celebrations. Right, I'm gonna go get something to eat.
Anyway, mate, before we go, shout your bloody socials out, mate. Come on, you've got some somewhere, haven't you? Go on.
Yeah, obviously you can find me at Instagram, Stepsy Boy. You can find me on Twitter or X, as Elon Musk calls it, at StepsyBoy82. And if you want my Xbox account, hit me up.
Anyway, mate, you better go, and answer that, yeah?
All right.
Yeah, cheers for being on, man, anyway. Cheers, mate.
Bye.
Take care, yeah? A good one, yeah? Yeah, cheers, guys, and cheers to Stephen for being on, and Manny, of course, for being on earlier. Thanks, guys, and everyone in the live chat. Of course, Stephen was in there again. Chris Welch, thanks, mate, for being in here. And I've subbed to your channel, as you know. Watching your content, it's really good. Good things on there. Helen was in there earlier. Thanks to her as well. Miss Melina, thanks to you again. Thanks for being in the live chat. It's brilliant. She is. Great content on her channel. Go and check her out. Brilliant channel. And Dalboy Gunner TV is brilliant as well. Fantastic channel. Go and check out all his content. Great bloke. Arsenal fan. Of course, Rich Sports, another great channel. Check his one out. Brilliant content on there. I might be on there later, about 9, possibly. Well, I've been on 2 now. Got 2 of my own ones, so I don't know. I might go on there. Hopefully, I can. Anyway, cheers to him, and as I say, check his site out. Hannah, of course, another great site, great lot of content on his website, on his football and cricket channels. Go and check all them out. Chelsea fan, he hasn't got a channel, I don't think, but anyway. DJ Sinclairo, which is Ollie, go and check out his site. Really good channel, some great content. As I say, Chris as well. So check out all their stuff and keep subbing and smashing the likes. Sub if you're new and smash the likes. I think I've got another 1 or 2 subs, so up to about 102 now. So that's great. Keep supporting me and keep it going. And hopefully till the next time, it'll be a preview tomorrow for the City game. Which we'll probably lose again, no doubt. But obviously we've got to play them, so that's it. Away at the City ground. So I'll do a preview for that one tomorrow. So please check that out. And obviously other things coming up, more content with the cricket and everything on my other channel, and more on this channel, of course. So please keep watching. Thanks for all your support, everyone. And for the time being, I'm out of here. Goodbye.